a Casper mattress. Only at Casper.com.
There's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. To add to this week's excitement, DraftKings has a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes up for grabs. Draft your lineup and feel the sweat like and see how your team stacks up against the competition. DraftKings has paid out billions of dollars to winners since 2012, so they know a thing or two.
Movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
It's time for some straight talk. Here's a wireless equation to wrap your brain around. Big carriers plus fancy phone offers plus pricey contracts equals fail. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get a new phone payment plan with no fees, no contracts, and no deposits. For great Samsung phones starting at less than $7 a month. All on America's largest and most dependable networks for up to
Number 5, Florida. Ole Miss. Tomorrow morning at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Coming up Monday on the Max Kellerman Show. Do the Lakers finally get back to the promised land? The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays, 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Finding great value is brought to you by Cooper Tires.
In the 62nd round of the 1998 MLB June Amateur Draft, the Los Angeles Dodgers drafted the son of a close friend of Tommy Lasorda. The player was Mike Piazza. Although he struggled initially in the minor leagues, he was eventually called up in September of '92. The following season, he was named Rookie of the Year, and he never looked back. He finished his career as a 12-time All-Star and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016.
Cooper Tires. Go with the Coopers.
Hey! Here's a bit of wisdom from your Uncle Cooper. Tires exist on a spectrum. On one end, you got too much tire. On the other, you don't get enough. Both ends are rip-offs. You're either paying for more than you need or needing more even after you pay. So if you want a tire that costs what tires should cost and does what tires should do, go mwah, right for the sweet spot. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Kevin Winter in our studios. That'll do it for us on NBA Countdown. Game number 5. Celtics and Heat. Miami with a chance to go to the NBA Finals.
It's so impressive. Even just being here in this building and watching him shoot.
Quick trigger fading. 3 is good. Tyler Hero is spectacular.
He's taking the breath away from the few people that are in this building.
Tyler Hero with the game of his life a couple of nights ago with a career-high 37 in that performance, coupled with some late turnovers and some outstanding offensive rebounding, particularly in the fourth quarter, has put the Miami Heat on the verge of an NBA Finals appearance. They lead this series against Boston 3-1. The NBA on ESPN Radio is presented by Indeed. Find the high-impact hire your business needs at Indeed.com/high-impact. Is it the final night of the Eastern Conference Finals? Heat lead the Celtics 3-1 with the call of Game 5 to Advent Health Arena we go. With PJ Carlissimo and Doris Burke, here's Mark Testisher.
All right, Kevin Winter, thank you very much. And for many of the teams that are still here, of the four, we are approaching day 80 in the bubble. It's been months, and tonight, if the Miami Heat can get a win in Game 5, indeed, they will head to the finals for the sixth time in franchise history, first time since 2014, the last year LeBron James was on the Miami Heat roster. The Celtics already won elimination game victory, Game 7 in the conference semis against Toronto, down 3-1. Let's get the Game 5 game plan brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. PJ Carlissimo, we'll start with you and the Miami Heat.
Well, the first thing they've got to do, Kesty, is match the Celtic desperation. If the Celtics lose, they're flying to Boston tomorrow. That's as desperate as you can get. They need a couple more wins, and they'll be playing for the NBA Finals. They must contain paint penetration. Game 3, the only game they lost, they got annihilated inside. 60 points they gave up in the paint, so they need to contain penetration. More threes would really help. You're talking a team that was number 2 in the regular season in three-point shooting. They've dropped from 38 to 36 in the playoffs, and they're 32.5 in this series. So threes would really make it a lot easier for the Miami Heat.
Meanwhile, Doris, for the Boston Celtics, down a little desperation time, as PJ mentioned. What do you got for them?
Well, Brad stated it simply. Turnovers are killing us. They had 7 in the fourth period of the last loss for 11 points by Miami. Miami's averaging 19.3 off their turnovers, so they've got to keep that number low. And then, frankly, when the game is at its most heated in clutch time, they are being outscored by 23 and outshot 56% to 31%. They've got to be better when the game is on the line. And then finally, number 3, they've got to make Miami feel them. And I mean all night. This can't be for 42 or 44 minutes. You've got to make Miami uncomfortable for 48 or overtime if that's required.
Yeah, it has been a very even series. Miami winning in overtime in Game 1. A comeback from down 17 to win by 5 in Game 2. Boston took Game 3. And then the Heat with the 37 Tyler Hero points. A 3-point win over Boston to take this 3-1 series lead. They've just announced the starters for Game number 5. Let's give you those starting lineups. Game 5 is a quote-unquote home game for the Celtics. The visiting Miami Heat, same starting lineup. Goran Dragic and Duncan Robinson. Dragic, the leading scorer this Jay Crowder, Jimmy Butler up front. Butler, the number 2 scorer at 20.8 points per game. And Bam Adebayo, 3 straight 20-point double-doubles for the 6'9" point center for this Miami Heat. For the Boston Celtics backcourt, Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart. Walker working on 3 consecutive 20-point games. Up front, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. It was a Jekyll and Hyde game number 4 for Tatum. 0 in the first half, 28 points in the second half in the loss the other night. And in the middle, it'll be Daniel Tice, the center for the Boston. Even series. I think it's interesting of note, Bam Adebayo, PJ, when he's on the floor, Miami's a plus 29. When he's off the floor, a minus 29 because it's a very even point series. It's been one of the differences.
He's the best big man, and he impacts the game on both ends, Kesty. That's why those numbers are so slanted. But these two teams are so close to each other. Frankly, I expected a 7-game series, and I'm still not convinced that's not going to happen. It's very difficult for either of these teams to get away from their opponent.
Taking a look at Bam Adebayo, who late in the game got tangled up with Jason Tatum, and there was word of maybe a left wrist or a forearm or a shoulder, and they said he's fine. There was a sleeve on that left arm, a white sleeve, but we are told he is ready to go, and he's getting ready to jump in the center circle with Daniel Tice. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals underway, and Bam wins the tap. Back to our left, Miami in their white uniforms trimmed in red and pinstripe orange, going left to right to open up Game 5. Bam Adebayo with the dribble at the top against Jaylen Brown. Adebayo stops the dribble, goes to Duncan Robinson, popping way up high. Give and go. Robinson gets to the left, triggers a three, and knocks it home after going scoreless last game.
They screened Kemba Walker. He got hung up on it, and it was an easy shot.
3-0 in favor of Miami, just underway. As Kemba Walker will feed Jason Tatum, working it over into the corner. Tice, the big man, for a three. Missing, rebounded by Dragic, lost the ball but finds it on the baseline. Dragic front court, Duncan Robinson. Pass is tipped by Smart. Robinson comes up with it, driving in the corner, wide open is Crowder. His three's no good, and Marcus Smart has the rebound.
Jay Crowder's really struggling for a guy who makes his living shooting threes.
Jaylen Brown, left angle three, misses. Offensive board, Tice. Outside to Smart, who walks into a straight-on three that's no good. Crowder the rebound. Celtics missing on their first 3 shot attempts, all from 3. Bam Adebayo in the high post, outside to Dragic, straight on triple, no good. Rebounded by Walker. Celtics in the black uniforms, trimmed in green. Walker driving down the lane, blocked by Crowder, who is trailing him the whole way. Butler up court, 3-on-2 to Robinson for the layup. It's good. 5-0 Miami.
Rare 2-point opportunity, but you're running off of Boston's misses. You get a little bit of a numbered opportunity. So unusual to see Duncan Robinson take a shot inside the arc.
Robinson 5, the Celtics nothing. Tatum over to Brown, left corner. Jaylen will drive into the lane. Tried to pass to the wing. Intercepted. Turnover. Bam Adebayo had it. Gives it up to Butler. Turnovers were a big story for Boston in Game 4. Here's Robinson as he takes it from Butler. Wipe it out because Jimmy Butler knocked down Marcus Smart. Offensive foul.
But Doris, just to go back to your point, Duncan Robinson has taken 34. He took a 3 already. Shots in the series. 32 of them have been from 3.
Right.
He's not happy taking that layup, but he had to.
He was 0 for 4 3-point land the other night. Has a 3 and a 2, accounting for the 5-0 Miami lead. Smart catch and shoot 3. Good from the left corner. Boston has its first points of Game 5. That's a good sign for Marcus Smart. It was 3 for 16 last 3 games from distance. Butler holding out on the left hash. Passes to Crowder. Drives. Drops it off for Adebayo. A baseline jumper. No. Rebounded by Tatum. 9:28 and counting to go here. Just underway in Game 5. Miami up 3 as Tatum drives into the lane. Gets fouled. Here in the first quarter.
I thought Boston would be attacking the same way they started Game 3, and of all things, they started with a Daniel Tice 3 from the corner. Daniel Tice is 4 for 25. What he's doing taking a 3, first possession of the game, I have no idea. But Kemba tried to go there once, missed the layup, and it led to a layup on the other end. When a guard misses a layup at the rim, it usually ends up fast break the other way. Jaylen Brown went into the paint, and he got stripped for a turnover. So this is the first successful trip into the paint for the Celtics.
Tatum hits the first free throw. Hits the second as well. Tatum 2 points here in the opening 2.5 minutes after that scoreless first half the other night. Tied game at 5. 9:15 to go first quarter. Butler, pass for Adebayo, misses him, but comes to the near side. Miami keeps with Robinson. Back to Bam with 10 to shoot. To Robinson behind the Bam screen. Long 3, no. Tice grabs the rebound. We'll give it to Tatum, who comes up front court right side. Quick feed to Jaylen Brown near the mid-post. Pass out, tapped by Adebayo off his hands, out of bounds, far side.
This is a big deflection team. Usually it's not Bam. It's usually Crowder or Iguodala or Jimmy Butler. But they all have active hands. It's not easy to pass against this team.
Inbound Kemba Walker at the top, twitching, now triggering from three. It's a miss. Rebounded by Butler.
5 threes already taken by the Boston Celtics.
Only the one make, Robinson. Here's Adebayo at the rim, puts it up and in as Tice got cleared out, ended up on the deck.
Five threes among 7 shots.
7-5, Miami, 8.5 to go here, opening quarter. Walker stops the dribble up high, goes to Tice, the three-point line, back to Kemba. Feeding Tatum on the left angle. Guarded by Dragic, trying to punch the ball away. Tatum gets into the lane. He gets stripped, but the ball ends up in the hands of Jaylen Brown for three. On line too strong. Tipped in the air by Crowder. Out of bounds to Boston on the far side.
The number of deflections, the loose balls created by Miami. Jay Crowder very nearly comes up with a ball that Jason Tatum should have had.
Brad Stevens told us today they had to be stronger and more forceful with the ball. That's why they're turning it over. They certainly have not started that way.
Brad Stevens going to his preferred lineup here early. Gordon Hayward in for Tice. Hayward has it off the inbound circle, shoots a three from the top. It's a miss as Boston's shooting woes continue. 1 for 7 from deep. Bam Adebayo backing down Hayward, turns lefty hook off the rim. No, Bam's got his own rebound. Gordon poked it away. Boston has it. Tatum right to left, under 8 minutes to go in the first. Pulls up from three, missed it. Another miss for Boston, now 1 of 8.
Wow.
That's 1 of 8 from 3. 1 for 9 for the game.
They are firing.
Here's Butler driving and kicking. Dragic feeds Crowder. Pass for Butler. Right back to Crowder. Blocked, but it's a goaltend against Tatum. Count it for Jay Crowder as the Heat go up 9-5.
When you are guarding the Miami Heat, you've got to be prepared for perpetual motion. They'll give and go. They'll dribble handoff. They'll use Bam at the elbow. It's constant movement.
7.5 minutes to go in the first. Kemba Walker is going to drive, send it to the wing. Gordon Hayward. He drives middle of the lane. His pass out. Another deflection, another steal. This time Duncan Robinson. Robinson ahead of the field. Lays it in. Heat 11, Boston 5. Again, running off transition. Turnovers. Brad Stevens has seen enough here in the opening 5 minutes of play. Duncan Robinson with 7 points already in the ballgame.
Yeah, Brad's quote was, you can't guard runouts, you can't guard 2-on-1s, and that's what Miami is creating with their active hands. And the Celtics either turning the ball over or missing a three virtually every possession.
7:10 left, first quarter. Game 5, Miami 11, Boston 5. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your dentist to actually believe you?
And you're flossing every day.
Absolutely.
Great. And you're cutting down on your sweets?
Of course.
Wonderful. Then I don't even need to look in there.
Great. See you in 6 months.
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
Red Hot Canes look to stay undefeated.
We get to witness one of college football's great rivalries, and I'm fired up for it.
Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Florida State at number 12, Miami. Saturday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and streaming live on the ESPN app.
I'm Kevin Winter in our studios. The Miami Heat are 11-3 these postseason. It's time for Straight Talk Soundbites, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Former Heat, Dwayne Wade. We shouldn't be surprised, right?
All season you've seen this team, and you knew in the back of your mind they're going to be a tough out for anyone in the playoffs. And once the NBA season resumed and they went into the bubble, it was like, oh, this changes things because it's not about who has home court advantage. This is about who's going to be a dog. And the Miami Heat have dogs on their roster.
Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. They have dogs. They're also being aided by a team that is dog from downtown. Kesty, Boston 1 of 8 from 3. Celtics trail a must-win by 6. Back to you, Doris and PJ.
Yeah, all 6 Boston players have jacked up a 3 so far. Doris, this is an unexpected start for the Celtics, down 3-1.
I thought what PJ said in the keys about attacking the paint, getting to the paint, getting 60 points in the paint in the lone win, they have been content to just fire up jump shots. I'm starting to wonder if Miami's defense is in their head, Kesty.
Boston out of the timeout. Jaylen Brown will drive hard against Crowder. Missed it. Tipped by Bam. Controlled by Butler of Miami. At least that was an attempt inside the arc, near the rim. Under 7 minutes to go in the first. 6-point Miami lead with Jimmy Butler dribbling on the 3-point line. We'll give it to Bam Adebayo. It pops up, tip of the circle, fouled by Marcus Smart. And that'll be side incoming on the first Marcus Smart foul. First team foul against Boston.
I've given up trying to figure out what his shot is. I thought Bam was trying to get a shot off. I guess it was a pass.
Side into Butler, quickly back to Adebayo, just outside the high post. Now drives by Smart into the lane, walled off by Hayward, and a travel by Adebayo, who's looking to negotiate his way one more step.
Sometimes he fakes the dribble handoff, anticipating the jump out. Marcus Smart did jump out, and that opened up the drive. He just got caught by the help and really just picked up his pivot.
Boston Celtics 1 of 11 start. Kemba Walker, pass to Tatum off his fingertips and out of bounds. Another Boston turnover. 5.5 minutes in. A horrible start for the Celtics.
Miami doesn't get any credit for that turnover. Kemba just threw it out of bounds.
Turnover number 3 on the Boston Celtics. 11-5 Miami. Jimmy Butler with it. Right on the 3-point line, looking to pass. Nothing doing, will dribble to the top. Now bounces it to Crowder on the right. Shot clock dips under 10. Crowder fouled on a jump shot right near the 3-point line by Kemba Walker. It's 6:14 to go in the first.
Can't play any worse than Boston's playing right now. And the really good news is superheroes at the scorers table ready to come in. He hasn't even been on the floor yet.
Duncan Robinson's like, I got 2 twos in the first quarter.
Get out of here.
That's going to be a 3-shot foul, by the way, on Kemba Walker, as Jay Crowder will shoot the first. It is in and out. Falls no good. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Mark Kestisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlosimo, our entire ESPN Radio crew from the NBA bubble at Disney. Jay Crowder hits 2 out of 3 free throws. Miami 13, Boston 5, 6:10 to go in the first. And Adebayo went to the bench while we were away on ID. Iguodala is in. Dragic also went to the bench as Marcus Smart starting to drive. A whistle call from the baseline official against Miami. Tyler Hero just checked into the ballgame, picks up his first foul. John Goble, Josh Tiven, Kevin Scott are officials here for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Tatum will get into Smart, quickly over to Gordon Hayward on the left. Now finds Tatum driving into the chest of Duncan Robinson, flips it up, not there. Iguodala has it up ahead for Butler. Jimmy will flip it to Andre. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Back to Butler being checked by Kemba Walker. Takes him to the free throw line, pivots in, pivots out, shoots the 15-footer. Miami by 10 on a 10-0 run.
That 15-footer is what Boston might have to start shooting, because when they go to the rim, either Adebayo or one of the Miami players contesting very well at the rim.
Jaylen Brown jump pass. Was it tipped or did it go across the baseline? Never touched a Miami Heat player. Another Boston turnover.
The activity of the Miami team is impressive. Obviously, the hands in the passing lanes, jumping out on catches. They have been exceptional defensively, but this is just the lack of urgency for the second consecutive game in the first quarter is mind-boggling, given your position and standing in the series.
10-point Miami lead. Couldn't start much worse. Boston 1 for 12 and 4 turnovers. Jimmy Butler from the left takes Haywood into the lane, lifts, fires, and connects from 5 feet away.
Second game in a row, Jimmy Butler's been aggressive in the first quarter.
4 points, 4 rebounds for Butler, 12-point lead for Miami. Kemba Walker behind the tight screen, drains a 3, only their second three-pointer here early. 17-8, Miami still in front, 4:45 to go first quarter. Butler dribbling, stops, now leads Jay Crowder down the lane on the rim run, doesn't fall, the putback slam won't go for Iguodala. Marcus Smart, 3-on-3, Euros down the lane and passes to the wing. Hayward flips it to Walker. Kemba inside the arc, can't get through, and now we'll send it out with 13 to shoot. To Jaylen Brown, stopped by Jay Crowder. Back to Walker, 7 to shoot. Kemba's got the bigger Walker on him. Will drive by him using his speed, flips it up, no, but he'll get to the line on the foul.
Hey, look at the score. I mean, he knocks these two down. We've got a football score, 17-10. It feels a lot worse than that. Boston's fortunate to be where they are right now, the way they're playing.
Seems like they're trying to find any kind of spark, and Kemba Walker's trying to give it to him. Last couple of possessions, first of 2 free throws good for Walker.
But the whole tone and tenor, the intensity that's coming off the Miami Heat, 10 zip points in the paint, deflections by a wide margin. We don't have that number, but I'm impressed with the start of Miami, and I'm troubled by Boston.
If you want to relate it to feet, Miami's on their toes, Boston's on their heels, and it is painfully obvious.
Walker 2 free throws. Marcus Smart will bring it up under 4 minutes to go in the first. Smart passes right side Walker. Walker drives, stops on a dime, shoots from 20, no, rebounded by Crowder. Outlet Hero. Hero up to 37.9. Hero steps down the lane, misses the layup, tapped, loose in the corner, out of bounds, last touch by Miami.
Bam Adebayo's been off the floor for a while, and you see no difference with Miami contesting at the rim and limiting Boston to 1 shot.
3.5 minutes to go in the first. Miami leading by 7. Jaylen Brown dribbles along the arc to the top, goes right side to Walker, right back to Jaylen. 1 stutter step, shoots a 3, all net. Boston all of a sudden down 4.
That's his 103 in the playoffs, more than anyone else by the age of 23.
Now a loose ball on the floor and a whistle from the baseline official. Miami Heat's Andre Iguodala got knocked down. He's laying just beyond the free throw line. Kemba Walker will be charged with his second personal foul. Andre Iguodala playing in his 6th straight conference final and trying to get to his 6th straight NBA final after the last 5 years at Golden State. Now being helped up by his teammates. And a timeout has been called with 3:10 to go here in the first quarter. Miami 17, Boston 13. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Saturday on ACC Network, NC State heads to Blacksburg.
Put in work.
Go with the Coopers.
Hey, here's a bit of wisdom from your Uncle Cooper. Tires exist on a spectrum. On one end, you got too much tire. On the other, you don't get enough. Both ends are rip-offs. You're either paying for more than you need or needing more even after you pay. So if you want a tire that costs what tires should cost and does what tires should do, go mwah, right for the sweet spot. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
I'm Kevin Witcher with you in our studios. Rise and Grind with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and ESPN News. For Kemba Walker, the deepest run he's ever had in his postseason career, but he and his Celtic teammates enter tonight trailing 3-1.
Got to find a way. We can do it. It's about pride. It's about wanting to do it. And, next game we got to come out and show that.
Well, it was an interesting way to show it to start, Kemba. 4 turnovers early, 1 for 12 shooting, and 1 for 8 from beyond the arc, down as many as 12. Somehow, Mark Testishire, Doris Burke, and PJ Carlissimo, the Celtics deficit is 4. Send it back to you in the opening quarter with 3:10 to go.
PJ, a little better effort on the defensive end last couple times for Boston, and an 8-0 run to get back into this.
Yeah, no question. It started on the defensive end, and they made a couple of threes. DB talked about Jaylen Brown. That's kind of incredible. 100 threes that already and hadn't been done before. But this run continues. It's an 8-0 run. Bam is still off the floor. I'm looking around the plexiglass again. So continue to take advantage. You had those numbers in the beginning. What the plus is when Bam's on the floor and what it is when he's off. So take
plus 29.
advantage.
Minus 29 off the floor. Miami has it. Basket to our right. Shot clock down to 6. Duncan Robinson didn't have a good look. A jump pass. Gets it back. He's hit on a three-point attempt that nearly went down. Hard closeout by Jason Tatum. Another foul on the jump shooter for Boston.
Well, Duncan Robinson shot a 3 on the left wing right in front of the Miami bench, and Jason Tatum blocked the first one. He ran by and actually blocked it, and it went back to Duncan Robinson, but that took him out of the play. So the ball came to Duncan Robinson. He just slid a foot or two to the right, and Jason Tatum had to run him down again, and he ran right into him.
Duncan Robinson will shoot 3 free throws. First is good. He's got 8 points here in Game 5. The NBA on ESPN Radio is brought to you by Eno, the Capital One assistant. What's in your wallet? Miami with a 5-point lead, make it 6 as Robinson hits the second. He only missed 5 free throws in the regular season, and he has only missed 4 times in the postseason.
Tell you what, he had 3 points in the last game. He's about to go for 10. Missed it.
And those 3 points were all at the line, right? He had an offer from the field. So Duncan Robinson off to a good start with 9. 9 of the Heat 19 who lead by 6. Jaylen Brown driving, hanging, short jumper, no. Tyler Hero tips it, and a nice save by Hero against Brown out on the baseline. Up ahead to Dragic. Dragic accelerates hard under the basket, flips it up over the back, off the rim, and in for Dragic.
That's a tough shot. His momentum taking him away. He puts it on the top right corner of the box to get it, and what English to get it down.
8-point lead, Miami. 2:20 to go. Dragic's first field goal of the night. Marcus Smart will bounce it across left side to Hayward. Feeds down low, Tice. Underhand scoop to the corner. Up top, Smart. Boston working it around the perimeter, and they get a foul. Tyler Hero fouling Gordon Hayward on his way to the basket.
I believe that's his second, Kesty. He had the one as soon as he checked in.
2 on Hero, and that is the 4th team foul. So another side in for Miami as Bam Adebayo will check back in to the Miami lineup. And it looks like Tyler Hero's going to take a seat along with Jay Crowder as Solomon Hill checks in for Hero. Near side inbounds Tice. 2:07. Clock starts first quarter to Brown. Lob for Tice. I don't know if Tice touched it. That ball went in.
Yeah, I think the lob went straight in. I don't know if he touched it either. I was just going to say the Miami defense is zeroed in on Jaylen Brown.
Give it to Brown. Boston down 6. Wing 3, no Iguodala. Rebound comes all the way to him. He'll skip it across to Dragic. On the drive, wraparound pass down low. And we got a tied possession. Bam Adebayo came up with it, but he got tied up under the basket by Jaylen Brown.
Jason Tatum leaked out after he contested Andre Iguodala's shot in the corner. Instead of boxing out, he started down court and hit the front rim and went right back to Iguodala in the corner. I'm watching the replay, Kesty. It looked like
I think he did touch it. Tice
did touch it.
Yeah. They might have to make an adjustment to the score sheet. Off the inbound, Dragic driving into a triple team, nothing. Wheels once, wheels twice. Shoots late shot clock from the elbow, no. Long rebound, Grant Williams just into the game. The Boston rookie has it. Down 6, 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Hayward shoots a 3, missing from the wing left. Robinson rebounds. The Boston Celtics a 3 for 11 start from three-point land. Here's Robinson catch and shoot 3. That one's good. 12 first quarter points for Duncan Robinson.
I'll tell you one thing this young man does not do any longer. He doesn't pass up shots. At one point he ran wind sprints if he passed him up. He's gotten the message.
9-point Miami lead, 24-15. Jason Tatum baseline right, driving traffic. Foul, got a shot off, hangs on the rim and falls off. Get himself to the line at 56 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Boston's getting better looks now. Last couple minutes, their looks have been better. Some of the threes have been relatively open, and they're getting to the rim a little bit now with a chance to finish. Early on, the quality of their shots was not very good at all.
Jason Tatum at the line, missing the first of 2, and we are told they have credited Daniel Tice with that basket, as we saw in replay. Did touch it on the Jaylen Brown lob.
They're obviously not missing their free throws on purpose, but I'll tell you what, in an elimination game, when you've dug a hole like this, they cannot afford to miss free throws.
Tatum splits the pair, 24-16. Miami's lead trimmed to 8. 50 seconds left first quarter. Dragic bouncing it to Adebayo, right of the circle, hands it off to Duncan Robinson. Feeds Adebayo rolling, he's fouled by Tice, shot no good. 2 free throws coming for Adebayo.
Very good pass by Duncan Robinson. He came off looking to shoot it. He actually went up in the air, I think, intending to shoot it. Both players went with him on the handoff. That left Bam wide open going to the rim. Really good pass by Duncan. Daniel Tice did a good job rotating over and denying him the dunk.
Bam Adebayo just 2 points in the first quarter. First of 2 goes in, giving the Heat a 9-point lead. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Doris Burke with you from the NBA bubble. Here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, Heat up 3-1 on the Celtics. And off to a good start here in Game 5. Second Bam free throw good as well. 10-point Miami lead. A little bit of token pressure by the Heat as Jaylen Brown gets it across. Brown inside the arc, down the lane, lefty layup, good, and 1. Jaylen Brown coast to coast, and a chance at a 3-point play.
Brad Stevens has said this is his most forceful driver. It is not often you challenge Bam Adebayo and win at the cup, but it was the crossover right at the free throw line that gained him the step necessary to complete this, Kesty.
So Hero and Adebayo and Butler all with 2 first quarter fouls now for Miami. And Kelly Olynyk, who we have not seen in a couple of games, comes in now for Adebayo here with 35 seconds left in the first. Free throw rattles off. No good from Brown. Tipped in the air. Out of bounds. Off of Boston.
With Kelly Olynyk on the floor, you get another 3-point shooter. Bam's not likely to take or be aggressive either as a scorer in or outside the line unless he gets a dunk. So Kelly gives you a little bit more open floor.
Andre Iguodala, the ball handler for Miami. 24 seconds to go first quarter. Goes to Olynyk on the wing. Not a Robinson floating. A 3-pointer. Rims out. No good. Rebound Hayward with the shot clock off. He was getting ready to bust into the front court. But now we'll slow it up. Boston with the last shot opportunity. Trailing by 8. Hayward at the free throw, a 3-point line. Gives it to Tatum. Out to the wing, Brown. Brown with 2 seconds. Over to Tatum with 1. Gets off a shot, a 3. No good. And Miami holds Boston to 18 first quarter points here in a game the Celtics have to have.
They had it down to 3, and then Miami stretched it out again. I tell you what I don't like. For a team that's played so well throughout the playoffs and for these last couple games, they're not managing these end-of-quarter situations or end-of-clock. They're not getting good shots. They had 20 seconds to get a better shot than that.
12 points for Duncan Robinson. First quarter, Miami leads Boston 26-18. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
And do what PJ asked in the keys, which is get in the paint and score it.
Boston with it out of the to start the second quarter. Tatum drives in the lane, gets high, and floats it in from 10.
They're listening to Doris, and well advised with Bam Adebayo sitting on the bench.
Here's the Miami attack, leading by 6, 26-20. Dragic looking to go right, goes left, got blocked by Tice. Comes down to Solomon Hill. Outside to Olynyk, who drills a three. His first three since game 3. Miami leads 29-20.
They're not shooting it that well either. They were 25% from 3 in the first quarter and barely over 40 from the field. But they're getting all the specialty points.
Gordon Hayward. Little jump pass to Tice down low against Olynyk. 2 power dribbles and now a turning hook shot missed. Hill rebounds. Miami coming the other way, up 9 points. Dragic, long pass to the corner. Duncan Robinson, he's covered. Goes to Solomon Hill, right back to Robinson with a dozen in the first quarter. They'll go to Dragic with the shot clock at 9. Goran at the top, back to Robinson on the right. Finds a seam down low and lays it in. He just went by 3 Celtics.
Well, so the spacing was excellent. Again, the movement, there's just constant movement. Spacing was good. Listen, when they're selling out and getting in his grill, he's got to use the bounce to balance all that three-point shooting.
14 for Robinson, an 11-point lead as Tatum misses on the wraparound layup. But the loose ball comes to Jason, missed at the 10, and then Tice on the weak side puts it in and gets fouled.
Well, that's what they should do when Bam is not on the floor.
Daniel Tice head to the free throw line. With 10.5 minutes to go here in the first half, Kelly Olynyk knocking down Tice.
How about the specialty points? Points in the paint, 12-4 Miami. Fast break points, 4-0 Miami. Points off turnovers, 6-3 Miami. And Daniel Tice misses a free throw.
Third free throw miss for Boston. 31-22 Miami. He'd have it. Dragic sends it to the top. Iguodala hands it off to Robinson, chased by Tatum. Now he passes to Dragic on the wing with 7 to shoot. Goran at the top. Now darts down the post with 3 to shoot. Gives it up in the corner. Iguodala, 1 dribble, a 3 not there. Loose ball foul. Olynyk, who is wrapping up a Celtics defender underneath the basket. And Boston will take over.
Duncan Robinson hasn't been out of the game yet. Eric left him in. He had such a good first quarter. He's left him in. He's played almost 14 straight minutes.
This is not a lineup that has played a ton of minutes together with Olynyk, Solomon Hill, and Iguodala on the floor.
No way.
10 minutes left in the half. 31-22 Miami. Hayward driving, pass to the corner. Grant Williams' 3 is a miss. Rebounded by Iguodala. Quick outlet, Dragic on the far side. Cuts down the angle into the lane. A whistle. Chucks it at the rim. No good. Goran will head to the free throw line at 9:48 to go in the half. Brad Wanamaker will pick up his first personal. Celtics shooting under 27% here to start Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
And 23 from the three-point line, right, Kesty? 3 for 13?
Yes. 5 of 8 at the free throw line. Not a start you would expect. Down to your final loss as Dragic hits the first. Grant Williams will check out of the Boston lineup. Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown came in. And Ennis Cantor's coming in for Daniel Tice.
Well, we talked to Brad Stevens today. He said they were about equal in terms of what they had contributed. That's talking about Robert Williams and Ennis Cantor, because we're never really sure which big Brad will come in with first.
Dragic missing the second free throw. 10-point Miami lead, 32-22. Marcus Smart for Boston trying to run Duncan Robinson through a screen up high. Robinson commits the personal foul trying to chase Marcus. Number 1 on Duncan Robinson. Third team foul against Miami. We're early here, 9:40 to go in the second. Inbound from the far side to Ennis Cantor. Cantor, couple of dribbles, handoff Brown. Cuts down the middle of the lane, lobs it for Cantor down at the rim, lays it up and in.
You're going to get Bam back in soon because Kelly Olynyk has taken an absolute beating on the defensive end.
Who's that walking to the scorer's table, DB?
Yeah.
Here's a drive on the pick and roll. Olynyk on the slam. Kelly says, before I head to the bench, going to get 2 more. 34-24 Heat. 9:15 left in the half. Wanamaker, lob for Cantor, wide open, an easy deuce, beating Olynyk down low again.
He can't get him out fast enough. Just flat lost his person, head down, not looking at the ball. Bad defense.
Here's a nice bounce pass down low. Iguodala from Dragic will pass it to Solomon Hill in the corner. Up to the angle to Olynyk, who misses a 3. And the long rebound, Wanamaker for Boston. Up ahead, Tatum. In a triple team, sends it in the corner to Jaylen Brown. Brown drives toward the basket, finds Tatum on the wing. Tatum will drive and send it to Smart on the far side. But it's an offensive foul on Tatum, knocking down Solomon Hill. That's number 2 on Jason Tatum.
Well, he almost got one earlier in the possession on a drive, and Goran Dragic was in good position to draw the charge. And Jason just went one step too far. As well as he played in the second half, it was Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown, the big-time players who turned the ball over for him when it really mattered.
Duncan Robinson playing the first 15 minutes of the game, finally gets a break here.
I'll tell you who's given them good minutes through the early run that he's gotten is Solomon Hill. He's been using his feet and lateral quickness on the defensive end. Drew that charge.
Here's Jimmy Butler back on the floor. Finds his spot from 12. Jumper no good. Foul may have landed on Ennis Cantor's foot.
And Solomon Hill just set the screen that freed Jimmy Butler.
Josh Tiven lifted his foot up like he had tripped, and the 3 Celtics are all talking to Josh Tiven, waiting for the replay from our brothers at ESPN TV. It's not coming yet. They're really upset with the call, but Josh came out very forcefully and made the motion, lifted his left leg up like he had tripped him.
First on Cantor will send Jimmy Butler to the line. First of 2 is good. 35-26 Miami leading Boston. 8:33 left in the half. Five points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists early for Butler. Second free throw good as well. Trying to get to the NBA Finals for the first time in his career. 36-26 Miami. Pass for Kemba Walker. Poked away momentarily by Dragic. Walker has it. Cross to the left. Tried to cross to the right. Lost the ball. Got it back with 10 to shoot. Walker backs up on Dragic. Gets a screen from Cantor. Sends it to Wanamaker. Gets into the lane and lays it in. 36-28. Boston back within 8 points. Tyler Hero defended tightly up against the half-court line. Hero against Marcus Smart, drops it for Adebayo, swings it to the left corner, Dragic, 7 to shoot. Back to Hero. Hero trying to ward off Jaylen Brown, lost it. Marcus Smart took it away. Smart 2-on-2, fakes the pass, throws it up with the left hand, no good. Long rebound to Miami, they got numbers 4-on-2. Butler over to Dragic on the right for 3, no good. Rebound, Butler saves it in the corner to Goran. Dragic driving to the lane, switches to the left hand and lays it in.
This is just inexcusable that you're down 3-1 in a series and the team that's beating you to every loose basketball is the Miami Heat. I'll tell you this, the toughness factor right now tilting heavily to Miami.
They lead by 10, 7:20 left in the half. Smart gets inside, little short on his floater, and Miami has numbers again, 4-on-2. Here's Hero, right wing 3, no good. Long rebound, last touch by Boston as Butler lets it go out of bounds.
Boston had it 3-on-2 fast break. They didn't finish. Marcus Smart just had a layup at the rim. Didn't finish.
And PJ, I'm going to go back to something you said in the first quarter of Game 4. Just the lack of urgency, the lack of the playoff intensity you've come to expect from the Celtics. It's evident again here in 5.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging their heads. I mean, I can understand why. They're really frustrated by the Miami defense, but what should outweigh that is the importance of this game and the necessity to win.
Bam Adebayo in the lane, floats it up, late clock, scores it. Brad Stevens is on the court calling for a timeout as Miami has matched its largest lead at 12 points, 40-28. We'll step away from Disney with 6:54 to go in the second quarter. The Heat leading Boston 40-28. Your score. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
So the weather is just all over the place lately, right?
Enter code PLAY to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code PLAY. Only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
In our studios coming up tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Game 5, Lakers and the Nuggets. LeBron in Los Angeles with the chance to go to the NBA Finals. Last night, LeBron would guard Denver's Jamal Murray late in the game.
I knew it was winning time, and Jamal had it going. The kid is special. I told my teammates that I had him, and everyone else can kind of stay at bay and stay home. And I was able to get a couple stops and was able to rebound the basketball, which is the most important thing.
Be interested to see how much LeBron guards Jamal, particularly in the second half tomorrow night. Game 5, Lakers with the chance to go to the finals. Coverage starts 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami with a chance to go to the finals tonight. And Kesty, with that being said, Boston with a very dispirited effort in the opening half. Back to you, Doris and PJ.
Dispirited, good word. Uninspiring. maybe equally as good. And PJ, both teams 3 for 13 from three-point land early.
Yeah, well, possibly because of the defense. Boston is number 1 in the playoffs in three-point defense, and Miami's number 5, and 2, 3, 4 aren't here anymore. So these are the two best defensive teams guarding the three. But Miami was second in the regular season, and Boston had been shooting it well. I mean, you would never know it from the way they're shooting the ball this evening. Both of them are 3 for 13.
Second time tonight, Celtics trail by 12. Marcus Smart at the top, 9 to shoot. Into Enes Kanter, bulls his way to the rim, and his shot goes down.
They got the switch. He ended up one-on-one in the post with Jimmy Butler. That's easy money.
Good execution out of the timeout.
3 for 3 for Kanter, and now a Boston foul as they tried to load up Bam Adebayo about 20 feet from the basket. Kanter committing the personal foul. That's the third team foul. Second personal on Kanter.
And second one about 20 feet away from the basket, too.
Jimmy Butler will inbound from the far left side into Jay Crowder. Crowder loops it to Adebayo against Kanter, facing up from 20 feet away. Looks for Robinson, who's curling around, instead hits Butler down the lane. Layup not there, tipped out to Miami. Crowder gets an open three, it's a miss, rebounded by Kanter.
Crowder cannot put it in the ocean right now if he were standing on the dock.
How about Marcus Smart driving all the way down to the baseline and gets an easy deuce?
Well, there's a finish, because that's the last 4 times they went to the rim, they were unable to finish 3 times.
Boston within 8 as Jimmy Butler has it front court in Miami. Under 6 minutes to go, first half. Butler back to the basket against Marcus Smart. Now drives the baseline, bumps Smart out of the way. A late whistle on the missed field goal attempt. And Smart not only ended up on the deck, he's going to end up with the personal foul.
I think it was a good call. I think the late whistles are bothering the players a little bit. There's been a lot of late whistles on fouls at the rim. It looks like the referees are waiting to see if it goes in or not. I know they're not allowed to do that anymore, but it really appears that way.
I mean, PJ, we've been saying that certainly in the course of this series and certainly in the Lakers series. It's blatantly obvious to me.
Well, they tell them to wait and make sure, but they're really waiting.
Butler, free throw number 1, number 2. Both go down. Jimmy Butler up to 8 points, 42-32.
Duncan Robinson back on the floor.
We've got 14 to lead Miami. 10-point Heat lead, 5:40 left in the half. Kemba Walker dribbles along the arc, stops at the top, goes to Tatum on the left. Backing down Hero to the elbow. Passes to an open Brown for 3. It's good. Jaylen Brown with another triple.
When he gets north of 25, they're 16-1. It'd be great if he could have a big night for the Celtics.
He's up to 8. Here's Tyler Hero. Step back 15-footer's good. First points for Hero coming off the 37-point explosion.
Poor communication on defense.
Down floor, Brown beating the Miami defense. Goes down for the slam.
And Jimmy Butler was given an earful to Tyler Hero about that. There was a complete lapse. Eric Spoelstra does not like what he sees, so he's going to use his timeout. This is appropriate. Defense is getting away from the Heat, PJ.
Hey, Wednesday was Wednesday, Tyler. We want to keep winning, man. Forget about your 37 and get your butt back.
Boston up to 37 points. They're down 7. Miami 44. Celtics 37. 5:05 left in the first half of Game 5. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward, no matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field.
Tatum has now played 30-plus first-half minutes in the last 2 games combined, all of us. He has 5 points. That's it. 1 field goal. Boston may be asking, where is Jason Tatum? Celtics down by 7. Miami with a chance to go to the finals. Kesty, back to you.
And I think he's 1 for 12 in the last 2 first halves as well, Doris. But the offense a little perked up here for the Celtics.
Celtics have 16 points in the paint in the first 7 minutes of the second quarter. They had a total of 4 in the first. And how about they've already got 19 points in 7 minutes after getting 18 in the entire 12. So they're cooking a little bit offensively.
Down 7 is Boston as Duncan Robinson will get it into the front court on the inbounds. They go to Crowder, who's wide open for 3. Another miss, Doris. He's 0 for 4 from 3.
And open looks.
I think that was 2-3 zone on the side by the Celtics, too.
Jaylen Brown with the Celtics down 7, drives, now turns the shoulders, missed the shot from 5. Bam Adebayo has the rebound. Adebayo inside a half court, little dribble spin move, and a nifty pass down the lane to Crowder for the lay-in.
Celtics didn't match up. They were back in plenty of time, and I think they were thrown by the fact that Bam brought it up himself. They didn't get matched up, and it was a simple pass for him.
Miami's point center, Bam Adebayo, 46-37 Heat. Walker with it, 4:20 left in the half to Smart in the corner, into Canner, near the low box left. Gonna back down once, wheels right past Adebayo and scores.
Adebayo's lucky he didn't get a foul call for a trip on that because Cantor went right over his right leg to get to the rim.
Tyler Hero driving by Cantor, passes out on top Crowder. He'll drive in the lane. Little pocket pass to Adebayo. Short jumper not there. Or layup attempt. Tapped out. Boston has it. 7-point game. Here's Marcus Smart flying in from the right. Has to dribble through the basket and out pass to the top Brown. Jaylen Brown has some room. He's going to shoot the 20-footer. It's a miss. Rebounded by Crowder.
Boy, Jimmy Butler assigned to check out Enes Kanter underneath. If that had landed a little softer on the rim, Enes would have scored again.
Enes Kanter 4 for 4 off the bench. Dangerous pass picked off. Hero threw it cross court. Tatum with the pickoff, runs down floor and lays it in.
Tyler Hero is going to be headed to the Miami bench very shortly.
46-41 Miami. Hero one night, not so much so far here in game 5. Butler driving the smaller Walker to the high post. Finds Hero at the top. Tyler dribbles back with 9 to shoot against Smart. Now feeds Butler right of the circle with 5 to shoot. Butler left-hand dribble into the lane. Nearly slipped. Foul called. His shot up. Will they count it? It goes through. Eric Spoelstra saying, you counting it?
Marcus Smart is making a signal, too. He wants a review. He's asking Brad Stevens to challenge.
3 officials gather, and they'll count it for Jimmy Butler. And 1 here with 3:05 to go in the half.
Brad Stevens is taking a look at the big board. He's taking a timeout. He's going to challenge.
I think he might win this challenge.
I think it's a foul. I just think it's a foul on the floor.
I agree. Butler regathered himself. We're watching it frame by frame after the foul and then put it up and in. Get our instant analysis brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks, from discounts and benefits to added coverages.
Boston coaches challenging the foul on the floor.
Call 1-800-FARMERS to learn more about policy perks from Farmers Insurance and get a quote today. This will be a big challenge here in the game as Boston trying to get a little closer here to see if they can wipe that 2 off the board.
When they get the 2 wiped off the board, I don't think they're going to win the whole thing. There was contact. I think they may still say it's a foul, but just a foul on the floor.
That's what I think. I thought Kemba fouled him twice. Now, the only thing I'd say is, listen, I think he fouled him twice on a reach-in with his upper body, but there was a point at which Jimmy's shoulder went into the face of Kemba Walker. It's going to be an interesting call, and it is a big one.
I'll tell you what, excuse me, I think Jimmy traveled. I thought so live. When I saw the other replay, I didn't think he did. I just saw this replay. Watch Jimmy's feet.
Before the foul or after?
Before.
And the foul on Walker is his 3rd. As John Goebel, the lead official, has the headset on.
And one of the things your analytics people will tell you, Mark Kestisher, about, whether or not to use a challenge here is, if you can take points off the board, then, or if it's, somebody important and it's a 3rd foul, whatever, then you also want to take that off the floor And Kemba, that would be his third. So this is
both.
big. Yeah, this is both of those.
It's a good challenge, and thought they were taking their headsets off, but John Goebel and Josh Tiven still have him on.
PJ, you were right, too. Jimmy Butler's feet slipped. Yeah. And the pivot foot came up. Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlissimo, Doris Burke with you from Advent Health Arena, Lake Buena Vista on the Disney campus. 3:05 left in the half. Right now, Miami 48, Boston 41, but pending Brad Stevens' coach's challenge.
Curtis Blair and Tyler Ford are our replay officials.
This is taking a long time, guys.
Well, they're going to huddle up.
John Goebel, Josh Tiven, Kevin Scott, our officiating crew.
Here we go. John Goebel's headed to the microphone.
Upon review, the challenge is unsuccessful. It was a defensive foul. However, there was no continuous shooting motion, so the basket will not count. Butler will shoot 2 free throws.
So it'll still be the third foul on Kemba, but instead of a chance at a three-point play, Butler will have to earn 2 free throws.
I'm telling you what, I'm really surprised. Jimmy Butler traveled. His foot went out from under him. He slipped, which has been a common occurrence down here. The floors are a little bit slippery, much slipperier than we're used to in the NBA arenas, I would think, because of the humidity here. But good news, take the basket off, but he's at the free throw line.
Yeah, Boston is over the limit.
Yeah.
So Butler hits the first of 2.
And probably most importantly, Kemba Walker has 3 fouls.
Correct, and he's staying in the ball game. You guys have talked about this. There's a trust built up between he and Brad Stevens. But to your point, PJ, I've been concerned since the start of this that somebody could get hurt with the wetness on the floor for sure.
Butler hits 2 free throws, 48-41 Miami. Under 3 minutes to go in the half. Walker with the 3 fouls will launch for 3 and knocks it home. But Brad Stevens with the trust of Walker, and he earns 3 points back. Boston within 4.
Well, Doris makes a good point. At this stage of the season, you should know which players you can trust and which ones you can't to avoid that extra foul.
Butler drives against Gordon Hayward, floats it at the rim, gets the roll. Jimmy Butler with a dozen here in Game 5. Miami 50, Boston 44, 2.5 left in the first half. Walker at the top, and now Crowder, who called for a foul, got tangled up. Tatum and Cantor near the elbow area.
How about that's only 4th team foul?
Yeah.
As hard as they've guarded, as many deflections as they've created, only the 4th team foul on Miami, so not yet shooting free throws. Next one for Boston.
Well, they're the 3rd best in the playoff at committing personal fouls. They've committed the 3rd fewest, that is. So it's something that they obviously drill and have done a really good job with so far in the playoffs.
Inbound to Walker, leans it for 3, looked for contact, none, missed it. Other end of the floor, Dragic in the air, gets it to Crowder, diving down the lane for the lay-in. Miami Heat lightning fast in transition.
Yeah, Kemba shot that just trying to get the foul call, and all it accomplished was it generated a fast break for Miami.
Tatum from the wing for 3. Yes, for Jason Tatum. Right at the 2-minute mark to go in the first half. 52-47, Miami leading. After the make, the ball came careening up 50 feet up floor. Officials hold it. Get it back to Jimmy Butler as Miami will bring it up. They've led twice by 12 points. Miami's lead is 5 with 1:54 and counting to go in the first half.
Boy, Kemba
getting in, and he creates an offensive foul on Dragic. Those two went head-to-head, and you say, oh, boy, because Kemba could have got his 4th foul on that one.
Easily could have gone the other way. Very easily.
Instead, Dragic picks up the offensive foul.
Dragic was the first one, and this is a guy who understands where Kemba is. He actually took his offhand and wrapped Kemba's arm, trying to bait the official into calling that. First of all, excellent officiating, but I'll tell you what, Dragic, that's a European with a little bit of like old man in his game.
Josh Tiven is over talking to John Goebel, and they are going to do a review. I don't know what it's about. They're clearing telling both teams to go back to their bench.
Would they look for a hostile act if there was an elbow in there somewhere?
Yeah,
figure out what they would.
Goran had, if we get a replay, Goran's right elbow is in there.
For possible hostile act.
Oh, boy.
So 1:50 left in the half, and back to the replay center.
I don't think. Watch his right arm. Not here when he goes over the pick.
So Gordon wrapped him, I think.
Right there. Very, very late. His hand kind of went back, and there was contact with Kemba's face.
I didn't think this was a hostile act. I mean, he
right there.
Yeah, he does kind of flail his arm, but it seemed to me like he was losing his balance, PJ, and was more flailing because he's trying to get his body under control.
It just seems that every time they've looked at contact to the face, they've come out with the flagrant one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kemba, by the way, we should note, Kemba's in the top 10. I think he's 9th in playoffs charges drawn. He's smaller than virtually everybody he covers, but he doesn't hesitate at all to step in and draw a charge. And that probably has something to do with Brad having enough confidence to leave him in right now.
I mean, it feels like a play on, but they'll check for anything, any contact above the shoulders.
And that call will be adjudicated right here. The replay center will feed them the different angles, but the decision will be made on the floor here by the game officials. That's John Goebel and Kevin Scott and Josh Tiven.
Are these taking a while?
They are.
That's like, come on, guys.
It's reset here. 52-47. Miami leads Boston. 1:50 to go in the first half. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals heat up 3-1.
Well, our cohort and new golfing buddy, Jeff Van Gundy, you know right now.
He's
saying there's got to be a limit. Got to be a 30-second limit or a 45-second limit or some kind of limit so we don't do this. Here we go.
Upon review, there was no penalty for the contact after the offensive foul occurred.
There you go. Play on.
Amen.
Might have been able to save 2 minutes there as well, but that's what the review is there for.
I'm curious whether Brad stays with Kemba the entire minute and 50 that's left, or maybe if it breaks a minute and there's a whistle, just get him out to keep him from another defensive possession or two.
Celtics shooting is 42%, 37% from 3, down 5. Trying to get a little closer. 1:40 to go in the half with Hayward on the right wing. Up top, Marcus Smart. Floats it down to Canner. Double covered, low box, spins, puts up a short jumper, no. And Boston on a loose ball can't come up with it on the baseline. It went by Jay Crowder, and Jason Tatum couldn't hang on. Jaylen Brown will rush off the Boston bench.
Kemba Walker to the bench. So you gave him one look at the offensive end, get him off the floor for defense.
Yep. Might sneak him back in for the last possession, but I like that move right now.
90 seconds to go first half. Miami with the ball in a 5-point lead. 52-47. Jimmy Butler gets an Iguodala screen, drives, floats it toward the rim, and the floater goes home for Butler with a 14-point first half.
No question, Jimmy Butler more aggressive the last 2 games. Early, not waiting for the fourth quarter.
Heat by 7, 109 left in the half. And as Canner finds Hayward, double team, fades from 4 and knocks it home.
I was just going to say, Gordon Hayward's been very quiet, and Enes Kanter found him on a high-low, big 2. I guess we call Gordon a big pass.
First points for Hayward, 54-49 Miami. Jimmy Butler baseline right against Canner. Will feed it to Duncan Robinson. Catch and shoot 3 is good. 17 in the first half for Robinson.
Can't lose contact with Duncan Robinson.
57-49 Miami. 39 seconds left in the half. Smart with it. Send it to Canner. Rather to Tatum. Drives into the lane. Lost it to Canner, who missed at the cup. Right at the rim. Miami the other way with an 8-point lead. About 7 seconds difference. Shot clock and halftime clock. Butler holding. Drives by Tatum. Underneath, slips it to Crowder, who's fouled. His attempt no good, but Jay Crowder will shoot 2, and a chance to put Miami up 10 again.
What a line for Jimmy Butler in the first half. PJ's talked about the aggression as a scorer. He's 4 for 5, 14 points. He also has rebounded exceptionally well. 8 boards, 5 assists. And Brad Stevens was telling us, guys, that he put together during the course of the year an offensive rebounding clip by Jimmy Butler alone and the kick to shooters. That last 3 by Duncan, what he does is on every offensive rebound, he sprints to the 3-point line in direct line of vision of the guy who's got the basketball. It makes such a difference.
It does. I tell you, that Enes Kanter miss was huge. That was a layup.
Yeah.
It's funny. That was the same kind of miss Jason Tatum that Jaylen Brown did earlier. Coming out of the right corner. He had to turn his body to shoot it with his right hand. Enes Kanter got the rebound. Crowder knocks the second one down. He splits it, but That was a layup that would have cut it to 6, and instead it got Jimmy Butler going in transition.
Also, Big Tatum picked up his 3rd foul there, so he and Walker both with 3, and Walker's on the floor. 7 seconds to go, a foul at the free throw line as Marcus Smart and Solomon Hill, or rather Derrick Jones Jr. got tangled up. Jones Jr. hasn't seen much action of late, just picked up a foul here.
They're going to get Duncan Robinson and Jimmy Butler back in for the last 7.5 seconds because they're going to get the ball back as long as they check out.
Yeah, that's one of those, you wonder sometimes as a coach, is it worth sometimes taking a foul on a not good, if there's a not good free throw shooter, and that's not Marcus Smart, but to take the foul to ensure you're getting the ball back, because otherwise the team's going to run it down, or should run it down right to the end, and they're going to get a good look. 7.5 is plenty of time to get a good look.
Smart at the first, 8-point lead Miami, 58-50.
Gordon Hayward has Duncan Robinson, and he would do well to stay with him this entire 7-point. No, it's Jaylen Brown, this last 7.5 seconds.
Smart hit both. Boston within 7. 6 seconds to go. Butler front court, bodied by Smart. No call, out of bounds, last touched by Smart. Jimmy Butler can't believe there was no whistle there on heavy contact inside a half court, but Miami keeps.
It's fortunate he got it back.
Duncan Robinson will be the trigger man. He's got 17 in the half. Nope, now it's going to be Butler, who has 14 in the first half. 3.5 seconds to go.
They usually zone. That looks like man-to-man now.
Butler into Robinson, gets off a 3, missed it. Rebounded by Hayward at the horn. Robinson, 6 of 9 in the first half for 17 points. And as poorly as Boston played in the first half, they only find themselves down 7 here at the break.
And that is the story of the half, Kesty. It's amazing they're only down 7. It seemed they were outplayed a lot more. Let's credit Boston. We've been very critical to only be down 7. They certainly did some things right to hang around and put themselves in position, but they need to ratchet up the energy for the second half.
Halfway through Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat 58 and the Boston Celtics 51, as we send it to Kevin Winter in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
Kesty, DB, PJ, AutoZone has free battery testing, free battery charging, proven tough battery selection. That's what makes AutoZone your battery solution, where help is always in stock. Get in the zone. AutoZone. I am with both Doris and PJ. Not sure how the Celtics are down by just as many as 7, but Miami whipped the 7-point lead. They are that much closer to a chance to move on to the NBA Finals for the 6th time ever. Duncan Robinson with 17, Jimmy Butler with 14. Up next on the AutoZone halftime report, we'll shift gears to the Western Conference, because now, for the 3rd consecutive series, the Denver Nuggets will try to come from behind from 3 games to 1 to win the series. This time it's against the big bad Lakers. Can they do it? We'll explore that next. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra...
Nuggets just can't. Obviously, they're in a position where they have no margin for error, but to me, those are the main things. Get Jokic and Murray going, get Gary Harris going, and then have those other role players be able to make threes around them.
Coverage tomorrow night begins 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Kevin Winter in our studios. Up next on the AutoZone Halftime Report, first half highlights. Miami is 24 minutes away from a trip to the NBA Finals. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I will see you Monday after one of the busiest sports weekends you will ever imagine. The NFL, the SEC is back, Major League Baseball, the NBA playoffs. See you Monday.
With everything that's going on with the coronavirus, any chance you think the playoff might be delayed?
It seems that it would be delayed. We don't know where this thing is headed. You want to have the best schools in the playoff. And so you look at it and you say, okay, if they're going to do this thing in mid-January and they're pushing it back to the end of January, early February, does that mean that now you have some of your players that have opted out and opted back in, they're going to opt out again?
Money we saw. Yeah! Now we know we're gonna da-da-da.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. It might just be the most normal thing you da-da-da.
Quote to da at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Kevin Winter in our studios at the AutoZone Halftime Report.
We'll go to Dragic with the shot clock at 9. Gordon at the top, back to Robinson on the right. Finds a seam down low and lays it in. He just went by 3 Celtics.
Well, so the spacing was excellent. Again, the movement, there's just constant movement. Spacing was good. Listen, when they're selling out and getting in his grill, he's got to use the bounce to balance all that three-point shooting.
Duncan Robinson had 12 in the opening quarter. Got that layup there. Kesting alluded to it. Went in and around 3 Celtics.
Butler over to Dragic on the right for 3. No good. Rebound. Butler saves it in the corner to Goran. Dragic driving to the lane, switches to the left hand and lays it in.
This is just inexcusable that you're down 3-1 in a series and the team that's beating you to every loose basketball is the Miami Heat. I'll tell you this, the toughness factor right now tilting heavily to Miami.
Doris Burke hitting the nail on the head because for the second consecutive game in the first half, you wondered how was it possible the Celtics would get out-toughed They did. This time, though, it's a game when their backs are against the wall and their playoff lives are on the line.
Jimmy Butler baseline right against Cantor. Will feed it to Duncan Robinson. Catch and shoot three is good. 17 in the first half for Robinson.
Can't lose contact with Duncan Robinson.
For the second consecutive game, a good shooter coming around on a screen and getting loose. Duncan Robinson with the triple, the 17 points, obviously the most in a half in his playoff career. Boston down as many as 12, not once but twice. They cut it down to 4. Can't get closer. At the break, Miami a 7-point lead, 24 minutes in the finals. That'll do it for us on the AutoZone Halftime Report. Second half is next. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Your most life-changing sleep is about what's underneath. This is a Casper mattress. Inside, precisely 1,501 perforations create a cooling system so effective, you won't be awake to notice. Only Casper mattresses are made with 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Altogether, it's the cooling, supportive comfort you need for the most refreshed feeling come morning. Only on a Casper mattress. Only at Casper.com.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
And now more Straight Talk from Straight Talk. The big wireless companies say they're the only way to get the best coverage.
Because they've got like a gajillion cell towers?
Something like that. But Straight Talk Wireless runs on those same towers, so you get the same great networks for up to 50% less.
I wonder if they're counting that one in Kickapoo, Kansas.
Oh boy. Switch today and get our unlimited plan for just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds and no contract. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com. When they raise the Larry-O this season, it's not just for a championship. It's about facing a pandemic, battling racial injustice, and rising to meet the challenge. So as we get ready to crown a champion,
you know I'ma make it hit.
Let's reflect on what we're fighting for and rise together. The NBA Finals on ABC, presented by YouTube TV.
One final weekend of regular season baseball. The Yankees and Marlins.
There's fair, it's gone, and that one is gone. Aaron Judge has done it again.
Tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I will see you Monday after one of the busiest sports weekends you will ever imagine. The NFL, the SEC is back, Major League Baseball, the NBA playoffs. See you Monday with me, Greeny, starting noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Finding great value is brought to you by Cooper Tires.
In the 62nd round of the 1998 MLB June Amateur Draft, the Los Angeles Dodgers drafted the son of a close friend of Tommy Lasorda. The player was Mike Piazza. Although he struggled initially in the minor leagues, he was eventually called up in September of '92. The following season, he was named Rookie of the Year, and he never looked back. He finished his career as a 12-time All-Star and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2016.
Cooper Tires. Go with the Coopers.
Hey, here's a bit of wisdom from your Uncle Cooper. Tires exist on a spectrum. On one end, you got too much tire. On the other, you don't get enough. Both ends are rip-offs. You're either paying for more than you need or needing more even after you pay. So if you want a tire that costs what tires should cost and does what tires should do, go right for the sweet spot. Go with the Coopers. Cooper.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Kevin Winter, that'll do it for us on the AutoZone Halftime Report. Our first half moment brought to you by Marathon. No matter where your travels take you, Marathon can improve your engine performance with quality top-tier gasoline. And Marathon fueling the American spirit belongs to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has 14 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, perhaps his best half in this series. Miami by 7. Butler in the Heat, 24 minutes away from the finals. We send you back to Orlando with Doris Burke and PJ Colissimo. Here's Mark Kester's show.
All right, Kev, thanks a lot. So the Celtics down 3-1, trailing here at half. Let's get our halftime adjustments, and PJ will start with the Boston Celtics.
They must continue to paint. They did not paint in the first quarter. They did in the second. 22 second quarter points that got them most of the way to 33 second quarter points. But they have to defend without fouling. Miami's taken 18 free throws already. They made 14. Boston's only attempted 10. And Jason Tatum and Kemba Walker have 3 fouls each. So they have to defend much better, but they cannot continue to foul.
Well, if you're Miami, you allow the Celtics to get 20 shots in the paint in that second quarter, leading to those 33 points you just alluded to. Keep in mind that Bam Adebayo only played 14 minutes. He averages north of 39. And so I think that came when he was off the floor. You made note of that during the game. And then the zone guys, I wonder how much more we see it in the second half. Did Eric not want to play his hand too much? He only had 8 possessions of zone. In the first half, they went 3 for 8, Kesty.
Halftime adjustments brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Shots, energy on the go. Boston has the ball left to right to start the second half, trailing by 7. Marcus Smart comes around a tight screen to the left. Duncan Robinson fights through. Smart cut off, pass in the corner, 8 to shoot. Jaylen Brown, tough angle 3, misses. Dragic rebounds. Dragic and Butler with Adebayo, Crowder, and Robinson. Dragic to the left, spins, extended foul line, gives it up to Adebayo. Tough handoff for Dragic. Has it, gives to Adebayo for the 14-foot jumper that splashes through. Doris mentioned Bam only the 14 minutes in the first half. That's only his 7th and 8th points of Game 5. 9-point lead. Crowder goes colliding on a Boston offensive foul out at the free throw line on Daniel Tice.
Daniel Tice has not had a good series. I know it's a tough matchup, and the pick and roll in particular, they have not all been his fault, but some of the fouls he's committed have been baffling to me.
Second foul on Tice here in Game 5. Jimmy Butler walk it up into the front court with a 9-point Miami lead. Gives it to Bam. Bam near the free throw line. Handoff to Robinson. Robinson triggers a 3. It's a miss. Back iron. Rebounded by Tatum. Tatum front court, far left side. Trying to find Jaylen Brown, and a quick whistle as Duncan Robinson was trying to defend him on the catch. And that'll be foul number 2 on Robinson. First team foul here, 65 seconds into the third quarter. Jason Tatum gets it in to Tice. Jimmy Butler nearly poked it away. Tice keeps, and he'll dribble to the right side. A handoff intended for Marcus Smart. They now go to Jaylen Brown. Brown will shoot the 3. No good. Rebounded by Dragic. 6 of 18 from 3 for Boston. And Adebayo outside the mid post. Looking to pass. Now he's going to face up. Rips through to the left. Baseline. Jaylen Brown got in his way. Turnover. Here's Kemba Walker down the middle of the floor. Feeds Brown right side. Lays it in. Jaylen Brown on both ends.
Thank you. After 2 missed threes, they finally went to the rim. Now, again, it was in transition, but Boston started the first half out with burping up threes.
Here's Dragic. A jump pass is tipped by Marcus Smart. Smart against Adebayo. Hangs, puts it up toward the rim. No. Rebound is loose. Jaylen Brown and Duncan Robinson fight for it. Brown saves it in the corner, the deep corner. And what's the call? Out of bounds.
Yeah, they're going the other way with it. He was falling out of bounds. He tried to throw it off Duncan Robinson. He couldn't. I'll tell you, I'll write credit for that play. Bam Adebayo ran down Marcus Smart.
Ridiculous challenge at the rim.
Yep.
And Marcus was, hearing the footsteps. Yeah. And the challenge without fouling, going straight vertical by Bam was special.
60-53, 7-point game. Another foul. Tice again on an entry pass to Adebayo. 15 feet from the basket. That's 3 on Tice.
Tell you what, second time Marcus Smart's been involved in a fast break where they had numbers, and he slowed up himself to try and make kind of a circus shot. He'd have been better served by just dribbling out of there and getting a good shot for somebody.
And down to Bam, gives it to Robinson, runs to the corner, shoots a 3, a miss. Tice a rebound. 9:45 to go in the third. Kemba Walker, hesitation at the three-point line, drives, flips it up as he's fouled, no good. Walking right to the free throw line, the veteran Kemba Walker with 9:41 left in the third, and Duncan Robinson being peeled off the floor by his teammates after he got knocked down.
He's walking very gingerly.
Kemba Walker attacking Robinson.
He planted his left foot in an attempt to make a tough shot for Kemba, and he just rolled his ankle slightly. Jimmy Butler is standing behind the three-point line with Duncan, talking to him like, "You're not coming out of the game, big fella. I don't care what you're doing."
As Walker hits the first. And that's something you've read all year about. We've talked to Brad Stevens as well, is the leadership of Jimmy Butler on and off the floor with this team in his first year. Walker with another, 9 points working. Make it 10, 2 free throws, Celtics back within 5. 60-55 Miami. Dragic front court, gives to Crowder, gets it right back. Dragic on the left, one dribble, pass to Adebayo. Right back to Dragic, dribbles down to the baseline underneath the basket with 8 to shoot, circles around dotted line against Tice. Outside Crowder with 4. Back to Dragic, to Robinson for 3 on the left, off the rim, no. Tapped in the air, Boston controls Jaylen Brown. The rebound, he got hit down on the other end of the floor by Dragic to slow down the transition. Foul on Goran.
Really good defensive possession by the Celtics, and I'll tell you who did a heck of a job was Kemba Walker, because he got switched onto Bam Adebayo, and he just dug his feet in, and Goran Dragic was looking to throw that lob pass. Kemba wouldn't allow it.
3rd team foul on Miami in this period. In from the side. Tice has it. Free throw line. Leaner's good.
That was the zone, Kesty, and that's that jump shot that they should make when they get it in the middle instead of trying to make a pass. Just take the jump shot.
Boston's back within 3 early 3rd quarter. Bam Adebayo against Tice at the top. Gives it to Butler. He's going to drive on Tatum. Back to the basket. Passes out. Now to Crowder for 3. A miss from the left. Rebound Boston.
Crowder cannot make a shot. 0 for 5 from 3.
Jaylen Brown gets up in the air on a drive. Gets fouled with 8:42 to go in the 3rd. Boston, a game they need to win. They have never led in this game. They've got it down to 3.
They're getting stops. They're making that elbow catch by Bam, doing a better job with split action and the handoffs off it. So now you're playing off misses. You're trying to get out in transition. They feel different to me, Kesty. They're playing with more force, with more intention, with more intensity on the defensive end.
The 3 officials just got together because they had not indicated if it was a shooting foul, and they've decided that it was a foul on the floor.
Just to finish Doris's point about Jay Crowder, he came in shooting 11 for 36 this series from 3. He's 0 for 5 on top of that.
Off the inbound, Jaylen Brown has it. High pass for Tice down low. Makes the catch. Hook shot, no. Rebounded by Bam.
Too many chippies missed by the Boston Celtics.
Particularly the bigs. Enes Kanter and Daniel Tice have had the ball underneath.
Here's Dragic behind the Bam screen. A shot for 3, no good. Rebound Celtics. 60-57 Miami. Now hanging on to this lead as Marcus Smart backs up, shoots a triple, ties the ball game at 60.
Big time shot by Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Eric's going to take a timeout right now.
So everybody contributing for the Celtics right now. You've got 4 double-digit scorers already. Walker, Smart, Tatum, and Brown, your big scorers. Duncan Robinson again getting attacked. Thinks a ball screen's coming, backs off Kesty. Pull the trigger on the 3 by Marcus.
9 straight Celtic points. They've tied game 5, 60-60, 8:07 left. 3rd quarter. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed. much better look for Boston here in the third.
Yeah, they're defending significantly better. Miami's 1 for 6, and that's 0 for 5 from 3, part of that. They're limiting him to one shot, so they're getting out and they're running. They're not having to take the ball out of bounds. It looks like a totally different Celtic team.
First time Game 5's been tied since it was 5-5 in the first quarter. Tied at 60. Duncan Robinson late in the count just got it in to Jay Crowder. 8 minutes to go in the third. Butler's now got it on the wing. Butler with a dribble down toward the baseline. A floater off the glass missing, and Marcus Smart on the back of Adebayo comes down with a rebound. Up ahead, Walker. Great flip to Jaylen Brown. Celtics have their first lead.
Another stop. One shot. Transition.
62-60 Boston. 7:42 to go in the third. Dragic out on the right wing. Guarded tightly by Walker. Wheeling and trying to pass. Bounces it to Crowder mid-post. Hits the cutter. Butler blocked by Tice at the rim. Down the other end, it's Tatum finding Jaylen Brown. Brown will feed Walker in the corner. Up top it goes to Tatum. The Celtics have the lead by 2. As Tatum drives by Butler, he gets fouled by Butler with 7:19 to go in the third. Free throws coming.
One big key here that we've not really stressed very often. 7 total turnovers for the Boston Celtics as we march toward the mid part of this third period. 7 for 8 points. Remember, in the series, Miami's averaging 19.3 points off.
So over the limit on the 5th foul here in this quarter.
And Kesty, at halftime, you and I talked. They had 4 doors in the first 6.5 minutes of the first quarter. So they've done exceptionally well since then. They got themselves in trouble early. That was goaltending, by the way. They just showed the replay cut and dry off the backboard before Daniel Tice blocked it. They missed that call.
First free throw by Jason Tatum is good. 63-60 Celtics.
But boy, oh boy, Kesty, the fact that they're already in the bonus, the Boston Celtics, that could go a long way to trying to spread out this lead here.
13 consecutive Celtics points as Tatum makes both free throws. 4-point lead for Boston. Miami on the attack. Adebayo, the free throw line, passes out to Heroes on the floor. Tyler dribbling, cut off by Jaylen Brown, who's been a menace here in the third quarter for Miami. Hero, low pass, dug out by Dragic. 2 to shoot, contested 3 on its way and in for Dragic. Wow.
That guy has had a tendency to make every big shot on a run from an opponent in this series, other than Jimmy Butler in the fourth. But early it's been Dragic.
64-63. Here's a pass down low to Jaylen Brown, beating Crowder to the spot for the lay-in.
Beautiful look by Marcus Smart. He made that pass from out on the left wing, threaded it to Jaylen Brown.
66-63 Celtics. Crowder has it mid-post. Pass out, extra pass to Tyler Hero on the wing. Now to Bam Adebayo, who hits the rolling Butler for 3. Missed it, rebounded by Tatum. The Boston Celtics with a 3-point lead and possession midway through the third quarter. Tatum has some room, shoots the 3, missed it wide right, but Tice picks up the loose ball and puts it in.
Their rebounding has been exceptional this half on both boards. They're only allowing 1 shot on the defensive end, and now they're getting some extra opportunities on O.
68-63, Boston in the midst of a 17-3 run. Here's Dragic in the lane, got some space as he moved out Marcus Smart, but he missed the short jumper. Kemba Walker has it with 5:45 to go in the third. Slings it to the right to Tatum, squares for 3 and buries it. Boston a 20-3 run. Miami needs a timeout as the Celtics have taken an 8-point lead.
It almost feels like the Celtics have finally realized, oh, my season is on the brink here, and the level of defensive intensity has had to go up. They're playing off misses. They're getting in transition. I'll tell you what, a level of physicality being played by Jaylen Brown's impressive right now.
An elimination night for Boston. They've taken the lead, 71-63, trying to stay in this series. 5:39 to go third quarter. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
NBA Finals. Nuggets and Lakers, Game 5 tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio. Game 5 in the East tonight with Miami, a chance to go to the NBA Finals. And Marquez sure to steal the old line. Well, that escalated quickly. Back to you and Doris and PJ.
Sure did. Celtics had 18 in the entire first quarter. They're on a 20-3 run, PJ. Miami looks a little flustered in the break as the Celtics have done a number on them.
Well, they're back on their heels right now. They're 2 for 11 from the field. They've taken a lot of threes, 1 for 7, but Celtics dominating the boards, running at them, and 10-2 points in the paint. Most of those paint points are transition where they're just running right back at them.
Udonis Haslem just gave his team an earful in the timeout. Let's see if Miami responds here.
The 17-year man, all with the Miami Heat on the bench. Here's Adebayo out of the timeout with a 14-foot jumper from the elbow. Good.
Little two-man play, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Good call by Eric Spoelstra.
6-point game. Leaner Walker, good from the free throw line. Gets the 2 points right back.
The higher they set that screen, the more opportunity he has to get downhill and get some speed. His pull-up game when Kemba's at his best is, boy, it's lights out.
Kemba's got a dozen. Everybody in double figures for Boston's starting lineup except for Tice, who has 8. Here's Butler hitting the baseline, cutting Crowder for the lay-in. Teams trading baskets here with under 5 minutes to go in the third. Celtics 73, Heat 67. Walker fires right side to Tatum, cuts to the left to the free throw line. Leaner in, got the whistle, and the basket falls off the rim. No good.
They've gotten all the whistles here in the third quarter. That's beyond 5 already for Miami. Celtics still won. We've said the key was for them to defend without fouling. So far they've done it because they were unable to do that in the first half. That's what really got them in trouble.
Celtics only went to the free throw line 10 times in the first half. This will be the 5th and 6th free throws of the third quarter, as Tatum misses short on the first. A trio of NBA podcasts, Zach Lowe, Brian Windhorst, and Adrian Wojnarowski. Join the conversation wherever you get your podcasts. Jaylen Brown out, Gordon Hayward in. Dragic also gets a breather. Tyler Hero is in. Splitting the free throws, Jason Tatum. Boston 74, Miami 67. 4:45 and counting to go in the third. Jimmy Butler 2 hour left. Picked up by Tatum. Dribbles and passes to Hero on the wing. Tyler driving into the lane. Lefty layup is blocked by Tice. And Butler, who came down with it, stepped on the end line, giving it over to Boston. Been a nightmare here for Game 5 for Tyler Hero after 37 in Game 4.
Daniel Tice is the best 6 minutes he's played, best 7.5 minutes he's played in this series.
74-67, 7-point Celtic lead. Got to get the win to force a Game 6. Walker, leaner from 3 is all net. Boston now with a 10-point lead.
They went into the zone. The screen angle was perfect, gotten Kemba right into the pull-up game. Back-to-back pull-up jumpers.
4:15 to go in the third. Butler on the drive, slips it in, left side lay-in.
Another Butler Adebayo pick and roll. They better get that one under control if you're a Celtic fan.
Here's Walker against Adebayo. Takes him deep, jump stop baseline, pass out. Three-pointer up, Hayward no. Tapped out by Tice, another big play. Out to Tatum on the wing. He'll pass down low to Tice and a whistle as Butler had him hooked underneath. And more free throws for Boston with 3:53 to go in the third. Jimmy Butler with foul number 4 here at the 3:53 mark to go in the third quarter.
Andre Iguodala getting set to check in. They need more defensive presence, and that's why Eric Spoelstra pulling the trigger here.
Tice hits the first of 2. Iguodala in. Butler will sit with the 4 fouls. Dragic also coming back into the Miami lineup. Jay Crowder will head to the bench.
And you wonder, does Andre Iguodala hit a big 3 or 2? The shots that are going to Crowder where he struggled, can Iggy step in? He's got a lot of big game experience, obviously.
Crowder 0 for 5 from 3 tonight. Tice, both free throws, every one of Boston's starters in double figures.
Talking about big game experience, Boston's gone big. Got Grant Williams on the floor with Daniel Tice.
10-point Celtic lead. Dragic with it. 3:45 to go in the third. Gets deep. Got fouled. Shot good. Counted and one as Grant Williams commits the personal.
That is not the matchup they wanted. Brad Stevens is really upset. At least I can't imagine that he wants Grant Williams guarding Goran Dragic. Goran just saw that and went right to the basket for an and one.
Dragic with 10 points. Free throw good, three-point play. 79-72. Boston leading by 7. Iguodala meets Kemba Walker at midcourt. Walker now to the three-point line. Has room. Shoots the three. Just missed. Contested rebound. Hayward. 14-footers. Good off the offensive rebound.
Grant Williams got a hand on it first, and then Gordon cleaned it up. Miami's done well since the timeout on the offensive end, but not on the defensive end.
81-72 Celtics. Here's Robinson off the catch. Three-pointer no from the wing. Tatum with the rebound. Miami struggling from three-point land here in the third quarter. Tatum spins. Elbow jumper is good. Boston's third quarter assault continues. They lead by 11. A 23-point turnaround here in Game 5. Dragic, a blocking foul. Basket goes in. Do they count the basket here as Kemba Walker was covering? It will count. One free throw to come.
Kemba can't believe it. We'll get a look at the replay, hopefully, in a couple of seconds. Again, he was in front of him. Did he move sideways? DB, we haven't seen the replay yet.
Fourth foul on Walker as we await that replay here, but Dragic going to the line.
It's back-to-back three-point plays for the Dragon.
3 minutes to go in the third. Converts on both of them.
He's been consistent throughout the playoffs. When a team puts a run on, this guy has the ability to understand, all right, I gotta start to make some shots for us.
83-75, Boston by 8. Tice at the top against Adebayo. Hits Walker against Adebayo. 16-foot jumper, no. Hero had it, pirouetting on the baseline, lost it out of bounds. Boston will keep.
Grant Williams again was the guy wrestling with Hero for the rebound. He didn't get the rebound, but he caused it to come back to the Celtics.
Kemba Walker, 4 fouls, heading to the bench. Marcus Smart back in for Boston. Gordon Hayward triggers front court to Smart. Rolling to the corner for 3, no. Rebound, Adebayo chases it down. Heat down 8, 2:35 left in the third. Here's Dragic, got contact, launching a wild 3 that misses left of the mark. John Goebel.
Eric Spoelstra's upset. He must have called it on the side.
Yeah.
I was going to say this is going to be the third three-point play in a row for Goran Dragic.
Third on Smart, just the 4th team foul. And it'll be inbound for Tyler Hero into Iguodala. Still down 8. Dragic has it at the top against the rookie Grant Williams. He'll shoot the 3. He'll miss it. Karen comes out to the near corner to Smart. 2:20 left in the third. Turnaround here in Game 5. Celtics the lead. Smart at the free throw line. Passes out to Tatum. Good look at a 3 is good. Jason Tatum drops a triple. Boston back up 11.
Jason Tatum getting to his spots. He's aggressive on the offensive end. He's made a couple of tough ones.
And a Boston foul as Hayward was trying to defend Hero. Driving down the lane. Grant Williams there as well will get tagged with the foul at 2:03 to go. Both teams over the limit now. The Boston Celtics shot 6 of 16 in the first half from 3. 4 for 10 so far here in the third quarter.
Well, they've gone away from it. They took 12 threes in the first quarter, and since then they've backed off. The threes weren't going, and they're attacking the paint, and they've had the luxury of a lot of transition opportunities this quarter.
First free throw for Adebayo is good, and as Cantor will come in for Daniel Tice. Changing the Boston lineup at 2:03 to go, third quarter.
Daniel Tice had an excellent 10 minutes.
If you're Miami, you're trying to stay attached here in the final 2:03. Keep this within single digits. See if you can't get a couple of stops and scores. You've been the far better clutch basketball team, so be positioned to win it late fourth.
Adebayo misses the second, splitting the free throws. 86-76. Been all Celtics in the third quarter. Pass to Tatum, mid-post. Euros down the lane. Got the whistle. Shot no good. Back to the free throw line go the Celtics, who have 35 points in this third quarter thus far.
And they're attacking. Yes, they're taking some threes, but they're not settling. When it's not there, they're attacking. That's why they're on the free throw line. That's why their points in the paint keep piling up.
That's number 4 on Adebayo, so he and Butler both with 4 fouls, late stages third quarter. Tatum at the line. First is good. He's up to 22 points. Tatum has 12 here in this third quarter. His 25th career postseason game of at least 20. 7 in a row. Every game of this series. Tatum, second one. Good as well. 23 for Jason Tatum. And the Celtics now have a 12-point lead. 88-76 with $1:40 to go in the third. Goran Dragic up high, gets a screen from Iguodala, spins down the lane, lefty layup is good, nifty play.
Yeah, that's going to make Brad Stevens really have to make a tough decision. They're going to keep putting Enes Kanter in pick and rolls, and that just is an open path to the rim.
10-point game as Tatum fouled, chucks it toward the rim, no good. Goran Dragic ended up on the deck that time.
11 and 12 free throws here for Jason Tatum, recognizing, all right, I have him on my hip. I'm going to get into my shooting motion quick.
Celtics have taken 10 free throws in this third quarter after just getting 10 in the first half. 2 more for Jason Tatum.
Celtics fan have got to be like thinking, wow, we've actually had a quality third quarter. I mean, this has been the quarter that's been so disastrous for this team in this series.
And as Kanter heads to the bench, PJ, you were mentioning that pick and roll is killing.
Brad's not going to look at another one. As soon as he came into the game, they went at him. They've also been going at Grant Williams. They wait till they get the matchup they want. They do a dribble handoff or they force a switch. Those were the 2 guys they wanted to go against. Brad took one of them out of the game.
Tatum both free throws. He's got 15 in the quarter, 12-point Celtic lead. And Marcus Smart takes it away from Dragic. Up ahead to Tatum. Euros down the lane and flushes it home. The Boston Celtics pouring it on here in the third quarter. They built a 14-point lead. 41 third quarter points. Jason Tatum has 17 of them. Here's Dragic's free throw line. 8-foot leaner's good.
One man is keeping Miami even in the game right now. Goran Dragic is just relentless, and most of them are at the rim. He just keeps attacking in the paint.
92-80. Boston trailed by 12 early. 12-point lead. Hayward for 3. No. Rebounded Duncan Robinson with 35 seconds to go. Third quarter. Hero pulls in transition and buries a three-pointer.
Doris talked about closing the corner. That wasn't just a three-pointer. It was a 2-for-1 three-pointer. So they're going to get the last shot.
7 seconds difference. Shot clock and third quarter clock, which hits 20 seconds to go. 92-83 Boston. Smart sends it up top to Tice. Back to Smart, rolling, runs into a wall, and Duncan Robinson. Boston tries to work it around the far side, and they turn it over as Hayward tried to find Grant Williams.
And he thought Grant Williams was in the corner. He had started toward the basket. I don't know why, but Gordon threw the pass without looking.
So Miami gets the last crack if they want it. Shot clock off, 10 seconds to go. But Dragic all the way down the lane. Whips it to the corner. Up top pass for Hero, not even near him. And it'll go careening out of bounds. And now they give Boston 3 more seconds here in the third.
Very similar pass. Andre Iguodala just whipped it out without looking himself, and it went right out of bounds.
9 Miami turnovers. Boston has put up 41 points in the third quarter, and they got a chance for some more here.
Jason Tatum wants the ball, but he's got Iguodala on him.
Inbound to Tatum, free throw line, and it knocked away by Iguodala. Those great hands from Andre Iguodala to end the quarter. But Doris, what a third quarter for the Boston Celtics.
Well, and it was all triggered by Jason Tatum, who is elite on the offensive end, and even against pretty good defense, he was able to score the basketball. Better shooting from three-point territory, more attacking of the paint, just a special offensive display. Finally, a level of desperation from the Celtics.
41-point third, 17 coming from Tatum, who's got 27, and with 12 minutes to go, Boston leading 92-83 over Miami. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
insurance. Ready? Go.
Hi. Guess we should talk about something. How's the, vermicelli game in your town? Got any...
Nine 92-83. Kesty, DB, and Doris and PJ. Back to you guys to start the fourth.
All right, Kev, 41 in the third, most in any quarter this postseason, PJ, for the Celtics.
Yeah, and we were listening in when Brad Stevens was talking to Rachel Nichols on the TV side. Started with the defense and then some exceptional offense, mainly Jason Tatum. Did a great job. He got 17 in that quarter, but everybody pitched in, and they played downhill for most of the 12 minutes.
Goran Dragic had 13 in the quarter for Miami, just bringing it up for the Heat, who trail by 9. They go to Adebayo near the elbow, 10 to shoot up top. Tyler Hero guarded tightly by Jaylen Brown, dribbles to the left, floats it off balance, off the glass and in for Hero.
That's a tough shot. Jaylen Brown has been so good defensively, forces a tough angle off the window shot, and Hero makes it.
Hero with 7 points here tonight in Game 5, and the difference is 7. Boston the lead. Jaylen Brown dribbling against Hero. Pass out to Tatum. He'll square for 3. Missed it at the top. It rims out. Hero's got the rebound.
It's just so hard for either of these teams to get away from the other.
Hero, give and go. Nowhere to go. Down on the baseline. Jump pass to Iguodala. Finds Adebayo at the free throw line. Soft jumper misses. Tice rebounds. 1 minute elapsed. Fourth quarter. Boston 92. Miami 85. Tatum fires left side to Smart. Turns for 3 off the front rim. No. Dragic the rebound and a loose ball foul underneath as Daniel Tice got the worst of it. 2 officials come together. I think we had 2 officials making a call there on the loose ball.
Not sure they had the same call, and there was an elbow involved too, so this might get reviewed. Boston doesn't need to fall in love with the 3 right here.
John Goebel and Josh Tiven, the 2 officials who were discussing.
I think they may have caught Iguodala's response. At least that seems to be what he's signaling. Bam Adebayo is having to pull Andre Iguodala away from the officials because he's too busy barking at him.
Foul's under review. Yeah, see, they're going to look at it because of the elbow, too.
That was the voice of John Goebel, our lead official, at 10:54 to go. Fourth quarter, Boston 92, Miami 85. As Jason Tatum spearheaded the Boston comeback, the Celtics, if you're just joining us, could not have started an elimination night any worse. Turnovers, missed 3-pointers, trailed by 12 early. In the second quarter, Doris, they took it into the lane and then took it up a notch in the third.
So you've gone now back-to-back quarters of 33 and 41 points. You're finding a level of comfort on the offensive end, Kesty, clearly.
Just got to look at the replay here as Iguodala and Tice got tied up. Iguodala put his right forearm into the jaw of Tice, and that could be a flagrant one.
That's absolutely a flagrant one. It's really about, does he believe that Tice sent the elbow first? I think this is going to be a flagrant one on Andre. Now, there's contact before, PJ, as you're looking at this replay, that maybe Tice initiated. But the response from Iguodala looks like a flagrant one.
We need the other angle. Andre Iguodala, this is what I want to see, what Tice is doing with his left hand.
After the foul is called, there's dead ball contact by Iguodala to Tice. Therefore, a technical foul will be assessed for the dead ball contact on Iguodala.
Dead ball contact.
Yep, no flagrant.
Yep.
That's the one-shot variety, I believe.
Yeah, I think the baseline officials saw the first act. The slot officials saw the response from Iguodala, and therefore we had the discrepancy. And then the dead ball technical called against Andre Iguodala.
Jason Tatum will shoot it. Kesty, I know they were 4 for 11 from 3 in the third quarter. The Celtics, that's 36%. But their first 2 shots in this quarter are 3-pointers, and neither one goes down.
Jason Tatum, 10 of 12 at the line. Getting set to shoot the technical, and it is good. 28 points for Jason Tatum, 93-85 Boston. Down 3-1. Celtics will have the inbound, front court far side. 10:54 still on the clock, an eternity here in Game 5. Inbound comes into Jaylen Brown. He'll drop right by Bam Adebayo, and he lays it in.
Bam looks like he was a little more concerned about not committing his 5th foul than he was defending.
10-point Celtic lead. Jimmy Butler on top of the arc, right side against Tatum. Takes him down toward the baseline, passes out. Tyler Hero with it. 8 to shoot against Tatum. Hero on the deck, stops, gives it to Dragic with 5 beyond the arc. Dragic dribbling with 2. Dragic got to get a shot up. Does for 3. Missed it badly. In fact, he missed the rim. It's a shot clock violation.
Absolutely superb perimeter defense from 3 different guys. But in particular, Jason Tatum contending with Hero, who has been able to create separation, who has been able to make contested shots. And then Marcus Smart. I mean, just really 2 good individual defensive efforts.
Mark Kestisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo with you. The Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio. Tatum a 3. It's a miss from the right. Rebound contested. Adebayo rips it down. 95-85. Heat trail by 10 as we hit 10 minutes to go in Game 5. To Butler on the right. Drives. Got bumped. Tried to pass to Adebayo. Somehow it went through to Tyler Hero. Dribbles in and leans from 15 and knocks it home.
Very fortunate. Daniel Tice basically forced Jimmy Butler out of bounds. Jimmy just rolled it up the lane, and it ended up in Tyler Hero's hand.
95-87, Boston. Tatum with it on the right to Tice at the free throw line. Tice leans in, the floater, good. Little runner from 10 feet.
Interesting adjustment. He's put size at the free throw line in Daniel Tice to deal with the size at the top of the zone by Miami.
Still adjusting here in Game 5 against that zone. Here's Dragic, catch and shoot 3, a miss, and Tice rips down the board.
Daniel Tice is having himself a heck of a half, and he's the middleman in that zone that Doris is talking about, and he's just catching it and shooting it.
10-point Celtic lead as Marcus Smart probes across the free throw line. 9:09 to go. To Tice up top. He shoots a 3. It's a miss.
Doesn't need to shoot a 3.
One and done as Dragic has the long rebound. Down 10, they go to Iguodala. Slicing down the lane, hangs, puts it off the rim and in. Miami back within 8 points with 8:50 left here in the third. Number of times tonight, the ball getting loose on makes. There's a lot of room on both baselines here inside the bubble. And so they hold up play, and now a timeout is called by Brad Stevens.
I got to think he's going to mention to his team, hey, guys, if we pass the ball around and the three-point shot shows itself, that's good. We don't need to search the 3. They're 0 for 4 so far this quarter from 3. They're playing with the 10-point lead, or were playing with the 10-point lead. Try and get it inside first. Then if a 3 shows up, fine, particularly from guys who are not good percentage three-point shooters like Daniel Tice.
That lead is at 8 with 8:52 to go. Game 5, Boston 97, Miami 89. You're listening to the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
It's your apartment speaking, and I need some favors. When you're singing in the shower, just try going up a key. You're trying to be an alto when really you're a soprano. Oh, and if you could bundle your renters and car insurance with Geico, it's easy to do online and we could save money. And then, when you read your murder mysteries at night, could you read out loud? But skip the murder parts because I get scared.
Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com today.
Goodyear believes in the power.
Policies. Visit geico.com for more information. Did you know Jason Tatum, 16 points in the third quarter back in Game 4? That was a playoff career high for a single quarter. Did you know he has now broken that when he scored 17 in tonight's third quarter in Game 5? Talk Celtics right now, hanging on to a lead. Boston is up on top of Miami, 97-89. Back to Orlando with PJ and Doris. Here's Kesty.
All right, Kev, thanks a lot. Tatum had the 17-point third quarter, had scored 11 straight points at one point as the Celtics lead 97-89, trying to force this to a Game 6.
And Goran Dragic kept Miami in those last couple of minutes.
Boston has it, rushing up the court to the right. Jason Tatum holding about 5 feet beyond the arc. Goes left side to Hayward. Hayward guarded by Robinson. Now dribbles beyond the arc, passes to the corner. Jaylen Brown, 4-3 out of the left corner. That's his spot, and he has enjoyed it, whether it be in an NBA arena or here in the bubble. 100-89 Boston. Jimmy Butler dribbling, leaning from 12, missed the rim. Tice underneath with his 6th second-half rebound. Boston up 11. Led by as many as 14. Tatum thought about a step back. Back to Brown. Left corner three. Another one for Jaylen Brown.
Duncan Robinson has got to look at the scouting report. You better cover Jaylen Brown in the left corner.
14-point lead for Boston. Iguodala looks for an answer three. It's a miss. Contested a rebound. Bam's there with Tice. They're both on the deck. And a whistle. Did not see the signal for a tie-up down there.
I thought he kicked.
Yeah.
I thought he might have called a kicking violation on someone.
Looks like it's staying with Miami. 7:48 to go in the fourth. Eric Spoelstra making some changes. Robinson and Iguodala out. Dragic and Crowder back in.
Yeah, Robinson messed up that coverage twice. I don't know that Brad's going to go much deeper than his top six.
Off the inbound, Dragic floater from 10 is good. Goran continuing to keep Miami in it.
That will go as an offensive rebound, a team offensive rebound, but it's the first one of the second half for Miami.
103-91 Boston, 7.5 minutes to go. Here's Walker before the shot. He just hit a three. They're going to wipe off the board on a foul outside the perimeter. Dragic will pick up the personal, number 4.
So Kemba Walker is not approaching the three-point line until he knows that the guy, the post player, is going to sprint into the screen. That's what's freeing his pull-up 3 game and pull-up mid-range.
Tatum off the inbound at the top, and a travel call from the far side official. Turnover Boston. They have not turned the ball over very much since the opening 5.5 minutes. They had 4 early turnovers. 7:20 on the clock. 103-91 Celtics. Jay Crowder getting set to inbound. Crowder, Butler, Dragic, Adebayo, and Hero. All in Miami white. 3-1 series lead, but down 12. And a steal as Butler going to the right side. It's Walker feeding Hayward, laying it up and in.
Little miscommunication turnover by Jimmy Butler. He was trying to send it to Goran Dragic, who wasn't anticipating it.
105-91 Celtics. Lob for Butler. Wasn't going to get there. Somehow tapped it to Adebayo. Middle of the lane. Finds an open Hero for 3. It's a miss out of the corner. Rebounded by Tice. Gives to Walker. Front court left side. Walker launches for 3. Back iron no. Jaylen Brown an offensive rebound. And as he lost the ball, it went off of Adebayo and out of bounds on the baseline.
Is that a pass Jaylen Brown was trying to throw? I couldn't tell what he was trying to do.
If it was, there was nobody in the area code. Marcus Smart will check in. Jason Tatum will get a breather here with 6:38 to go. Front court inbound. Smart looking. Fires it to the top to Hayward. Hayward free throw line. Jump stop. Short jumper good. Boston with a 16-point lead, their largest of Game 5. Timeout Miami.
That's just as confident and as comfortable as Boston has looked on the offensive end. Their field goal percentage is up to 46%. They're getting what they want. It's been an impressive middle 2 quarters where they set a record, or they hadn't scored as many points in the middle 2 quarters going back to April of 1990. Wow. And now all of a sudden still adding up here in the fourth, Kesty. They look good.
Boston trying to force a 6-game. Miami's overcome a double-digit deficit and rallied to win 5 times this postseason. Do they have a comeback? 6:34 to go. Celtics 107, Heat 91. This is the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
When they raise the Larry-O this season, it's not just for a championship. It's about facing a pandemic, battling racial injustice, and rising to meet the challenge. So as we get ready to crown a champion,
you know I'ma make it hit.
Let's reflect on what we're fighting for and rise together. The NBA Finals on ABC, presented by YouTube TV.
Coming up Monday on the Max Kellerman Show, do the Lakers finally get back to the promised land?
I'm Kevin Winter. I want to thank all of you who logged on to our Twitter account at NBA on ESPN Radio to vote in the Auto Zone to get in the zone. Poll question, Mark Kestershire. 42% of the people said Jimmy Butler would be the player to get in the zone. He was in it in the first half, but not in the second. But then again, not many Heat have been. Back to you.
All right, Kev and Doris, not only Butler, but Duncan Robinson, who had a big first half.
Yeah, and I think it has everything to do with the elite perimeter defensive players, because there's been a lot of pride shown by everyone, including Kemba Walker defensively.
107-91 Boston. Heat with it out of the timeout. Tyler Hero's wide open. Now takes it from 16. Rattles out. Tipped and controlled by Daniel Tice. 11 rebounds, 12 points for Tice.
One and done for Miami in the second half.
6:10 to go in the fourth. 16-point Celtic lead. Hayward curls from the left. Now he'll float it. High arcing, no. Front rim. Comes down to Adebayo. Up ahead to Crowder. Nearly lost the dribble. Double teamed in the front court. Will give it up to Dragic. Hits Crowder. He gets hit as he tosses it off the glass and in. A line drive off the box. And a chance for three for Jay Crowder. Kemba Walker gets ticketed with the foul, and that is his fifth.
That might force Brad Stevens to go a little deeper than he wants to. I was pretty sure he was only going to play 6 people in this quarter, the 5 starters plus Gordon Hayward, but he wants to rest anybody now before he comes back with Kemba. He may have to go one more.
Crowder free throw is good. 3-point play for Jay. 107-94. Miami still up 13.
I like Jay Crowder putting it on the floor, Doris. He's really struggling from 3. That was smart. Put it on the floor and get to the rim.
Correct myself. Boston with the 13-point lead. 5:40 to go. Tatum at the top against Adebayo. Floats it over to Smart in the right corner with 5 to shoot. Smart against Dragic. A lot of contact. There's a whistle as Smart's shot falls off. No good. Marcus Smart will shoot 2. Dragic picks up his 5th.
Not a lot of fouls this quarter either. That's only the 3rd on Miami. Boston's committed 1. We're 5:36 left.
Marcus Smart at the line. Free throw good. One of the interesting things was the amount of time the teams have spent down here in Orlando. We talked about day 80. We've seen Denver fight back twice down 3-1. Boston, an awful first half, and here they roar in the second half on their way, apparently, toward having a 6th game.
27-point swing. They were down 12.
That's right.
Lead by 15.
Both free throws for Smart, 109-94. 5.5 minutes to go. Bam on the catch in the lane was fouled. Gordon Hayward was behind him defending. Hayward will pick up the personal.
They want to keep Tice on him, obviously, as much as they can, but Miami manipulating the switch to get the matchup they want.
Second team foul Boston. Inbounds Miami to Butler. Little hesitation move on the baseline. A whistle and a foul as Butler will go to the line for 2.
This quick, decisive move because Jason Tatum has become elite defensively. You direct entry to the post and a really smart play by Jimmy Butler to get that contact.
We're nearing the 5-minute mark. Is that when Jimmy Butler dons his cape and then look out?
5:22 to go. Butler missing on the first free throw attempt.
Well, they've taken exactly the same number of free throws, will have taken the same number of free throws after this shot.
Boston 21 of 25. And now Miami 19 of 25. 109-95. Boston's lead at 14. 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart, the ball handler, gives it to Tatum out on the left hash. He'll find Jaylen Brown, who dribbles on the top against Bam Adebayo. He's going to back up on the matchup. Now trying to drive by Adebayo. Lost the handle. Boston has it on the end line. Smart, he had it poked away. Miami comes away with it. Here's Hero. Free throw line. Down the lane. Jump stop. Passing out to Dragic. 4:52 to go in the fourth. Dragic has Tice defending. He'll back up, make a run at him. Stops at the three-point line, gets contact on a 3. That's no good. Tice can't believe it as Goran Dragic will get 3 free throws.
And Kevin Scott was standing right next to the 2 players. He didn't blow the whistle. John Goble blew the whistle from down on the baseline. Kevin Scott is right there. Then the whistle came from the baseline official.
It's a nice tight little ball fake by Dragic.
I think this is a play on. It's Dragic leaning into the defensive player. Like, I don't think he should be shooting for
I agree
free
with you.
throw.
Brad Stevens is livid.
First one is good, and this will probably be looked at by the competition committee. There's been a lot of talk about that this year.
I don't want to upset all the Celtic fans, but if you're a new listener to this series, a double-digit lead by Boston going under 5 minutes has not been secure.
Told you the Heat have 5 comebacks down double digits this postseason. Miami rallied down 14 in the fourth quarter in Game 1. Down 17 in the second quarter in Game 2. As Dragic hits the free throws, all 3 of them. And the lead is 11 for Boston, 109-98, 4:43 to go.
That started with a turnover, don't forget.
Marcus Smart slings a pass down low to Tatum, fakes left, goes right, puts it off the window. No, Tice and one. Weak side offensive board and a chance at a three-point play.
Jason Tatum is upset, and Marcus Smart is trying to calm him down, and he's 100% right. Jason's upset he didn't get the call. He thought he was fouled, and Marcus is going, we scored, and we're getting a chance for a three-point play. Chill.
How about the second half that Daniel Tice is putting together? Free throw good, three-point play, 15 points, 12 rebounds for Tice. 112-98, Boston by 14 as Dragic finds a seam, drives left angle, wipe off the basket, offensive foul. Daniel Tice took the charge, and he's in considerable pain down on the baseline. Daniel Tice has given up the body here in the second half of Game 5 with Boston looking to extend its season.
In the timeout, everybody's going to the respective benches. Daniel Tice is still on his back.
Goran Dragic, as he went for that layup, it looks like one knee, maybe both knees, may have caught Tice below the belt.
Oh, boy, I don't like that call at all.
It's awful, in fact. The fact of the matter is he is in a normal layup position. Yes, does his knee come up? It's exactly what you've been taught since you were a child. Like, that's an awful call.
That was not a Karl Malone lead with the knee foul, my good buddy Karl Malone. That was just a normal basketball play.
Challenge here.
Yeah.
Challenge because they're trying to keep Goran Dragic in the game. That would be his 6th foul and would foul out.
Well.
So Eric Spoelstra's challenge is up. The green light blinking with 4:27 to go in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston 112, Miami 98. And a reminder, ESPN Radio, your home for the NBA. Tomorrow night, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Lakers with a 3-1 series lead on the Denver Nuggets. Our coverage will begin at 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 on the West Coast. On your home for the NBA Finals, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Mark Kestisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo, John Medani, our producer, Bob White, our engineer.
Review, the challenge is unsuccessful. The offensive foul, Dragic stands.
Wow.
Miami still charged with a timeout.
I couldn't disagree more, PJ.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like either of the calls, to be honest with you. I didn't like the one on Tice that put Goran Dragic on the line, and I didn't like John Goebel's call right there on Goran Dragic.
First time all year Goran Dragic has fouled out of the game.
23 points for Dragic, who, when Jason Tatum lit up for the Celtics in the third quarter, it was Dragic's effort in the third that kept Miami close, but Dragic is done for the evening.
Like we're watching the replay here again. Well, I'm sorry. How big is that call? Dragic out, could have been an and one three-point play, and you take 2 points off the board.
4:25 to go. Celtics have it with a 14-point lead. 112-98. Jaylen Brown out on the right. Brown will pass up top to Tice. Hands it off to Brown. Top of the arc. He's got the mismatch against Adebayo. He'll take him to the right. Give it to Tatum. Tatum back to Brown. A right corner three. No. Tapped up by Smart. Controlled by Hero, but knocked out of bounds by Brown. Miami ball.
I don't know who's going to step up for Miami right now. Goran Dragic has had 15 of their last 29 points, and he's basically single-handedly kept them in this game.
Heroes in the game. Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo, along with Jimmy Butler and Jay Crowder.
It's about time we hear from Jimmy Butler.
4 minutes to go in game 5. Hero from the right. Hits Adebayo, floats it from 5. Rimming, no. Rebounded by Tice, his 13th.
Bam has missed a lot of gettable shots.
4 for 10 today. 3:42 to go. Celtics with a 14-point lead. Jaylen Brown, crossover move in the lane. Spins, flips it up and in. That's the magic number, Doris. 26 points for Jaylen Brown. It's the number 16 and 1, the Celtics this year when he scores 25.
Correct.
Turnover Miami on the other end. Tatum, whistle, counted and one with 3:24 to go here in game 5. The Celtics with an 18-point lead on an elimination night for them as Jason Tatum has 30.
Jimmy Butler tried to spin in the lane and didn't have control of the ball. Jason Tatum knew exactly what to do. Duncan Robinson, he was caught in a tough place. He gave him an and one. He couldn't just stand there, but Jason Tatum had the advantage when he caught the ball.
Tatum's free throw is good. 3-point play. Tatum had 10 at halftime, 21 in the second half. Remember, he had 28 in the second half in game 4 in defeat. 117-98, 19-point lead. Adebayo at the free throw line, trying to pass down low to Butler. Went off the body of Tatum. Kick ball, B14 on the shot clock reset for Miami.
It's good defense. Try and throw a bounce pass by you, kick out.
3:10 left.
There's the zone, I think, again, on the side out of bounds. Must be some blood. Kevin Scott's in looking at somebody's uniform. Nope, I'm going to let him play.
Miami stacking 4 players on the free throw line. Butler to inbound. Has the ball looking, gets it into Crowder. 3:09 left. 117-98 Boston. Duncan Robinson fouled as he shoots from the free throw line and hits. Miami another chance at a 3-point play.
Just silly, frustrating fouls as a coach. You know, you're in perfect position to challenge. You have to resist the urge to slap. Got to stay vertical.
Can't stop the clock when you've got a 17-point lead and give him an extra opportunity. So Kevin Scott's looking at Bam again. It's going to be a blood stoppage.
And Duncan Robinson puts the ball down on the free throw line as they check it out with 3:03 to go here in the 4th. Those are the first 2 points for Duncan Robinson in the second half after 17 in the first. The story here, 41-point Boston third quarter, and then defensively they had held Miami to 15 until that 2-pointer right there, but still under 20 with 3:03 to go here in the 4th quarter.
I'm telling you, a lot of the points that Goran Dragic scored was just simply one-on-one. Goran Dragic attacking his man, putting his head down and getting to the rim. Boston's defense has been exceptional in the second half, and unlike a lot, and we've seen this in both conference finals, they finished every possession. They just absolutely got every defensive rebound. They didn't allow Miami any extra opportunities.
A number of different things that you're thrilled about, but maybe the performance of Daniel Tice more than any other. You get 15 and 13. His functioning as a screener at the top of the zone, his functioning as a passer scorer in the free throw line to the top of the key.
He got Kemba those. You've been saying that all night. The Pixie's been setting for Kemba, and he made those. Remember those 2 jump shots? They were early against the zone. They got him the ball right by the dotted line, just below the free throw line, and he made the little short jump shot.
Duncan Robinson completes the 3-point play. Boston up 16, 117-101. Here's Tatum off the catch, drives down the lane, missed the layup, 2:51 to go. And Adebayo into the front court, sends it right side to Crowder, steps beyond the 3-point line, missed another one, front rim. And Adebayo tipped it, but Smart, great save, is thrown down court too far for Daniel Tice. Miami ball with 2:40 to go.
It's just not in Boston's DNA to make it easy.
Good point. And if necessary, still hanging on a game 6 for Sunday night as the Celtics are 2.5 minutes away from forcing said game 6. Here's Butler on the drive, pass out to Hero, finds Crowder on the right, inside, behind the back pass, Adebayo knocks down the 8-footer. Miami within 14, 2:15 left.
Now shooters are. Jay Crowder would do well to make it 3 before this game's over, just so he's not looking at another offer for an off day.
Pass down low to Hayward, who's fouled as he turns and misses on the jumper. Gordon Hayward shoot a pair with 2:06 to go.
So how about this, guys? All year, Celtics fans and people who've been paying attention to the team have talked about the lack of scoring, the lack of productivity from the bench. Starters have 99 of the 117.
He played the other guys before they did a little something. I just looked over and said, he's not playing them in the fourth quarter unless this game's over. He's not trusting. He's not trusting other guys. They don't want to pack their suitcases. They want to stay. They like the bubble. They want to stay in the bubble another couple of weeks.
Gordon Hayward, his 2 free throws, hasn't yet met face-to-face his first son. Waiting back in Indiana. He wants to stay a couple more days here. Here's Hero, catch and shoot 3. It's good from the left wing. 1:57 to go. Boston leading by 13.
I think Gordon's only going to get more and more comfortable. Like that 3-point shot's got to come back. People forget how big he is. They list him at 6'7". To me, he's a lot bigger than that. So he can do some damage inside. If he gets comfortable making the 3 again, that is going to be a big difference for Boston.
Jaylen Brown, left corner 3, misses. Crowder rebounds up ahead to Robinson. He'll quick trigger a 3. It's a miss. Tatum has it on the baseline with 90 seconds to go. Celtics edging ever closer to a Game 5 win and setting up a Game 6 Sunday night, 7 Eastern time here on ESPN Radio.
Jason Tatum 1 rebound away from another double-double also.
Tatum out on the right, dribbling against Jimmy Butler. Goes to his right, shoots a 3 off the rim. No. Tice nearly had it, tipped, and it ends up in the hands of Tatum.
That may be his 10th rebound.
Here's Tatum shedding the defender Crowder. Gives it up in the middle of the zone. Passes outside to Tatum for 3. It's a miss. Rebounded by Hero with 50 seconds to go. Hero middle of the floor for 3. Missed it. 119-106 Boston. Celtics control. 45 seconds to go. Jason Tatum, 31 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double. Having a fantastic postseason. Here's Smart down low to Jaylen Brown for the lay-in with 29 seconds to go. The Celtics virtual fans enjoying it as Boston about to close within 3 games to 2.
But Jason Tatum double-double is his 9th. He was 5th in the playoffs coming in. That'll move him up a spot.
Deep 2 knocked down from the left corner by Tyler Hero. 13 seconds left. Celtics can dribble out the clock. Ball in the hands of Jason Tatum, who had a 17-point third quarter, part of a 41-point third as the Celtics roared back down 12 and win Game 5, 121-108. The Heat's lead in the Eastern Conference Finals trimmed to 3 games to 2.
They found a level of comfort tonight in this series on both the offensive and defensive end, guarding the actions, the multiple screens, the staggers, the split actions, content to give some shots in the middle of the paint to Adebayo, who ends up 5 for 11, and then to me, PJ, little bit different, felt totally different on the offensive end. The screening action against the zone, the force with which they played against man-to-man, lot to like if you're the Celtics.
No question about it, and they played downhill. It just jumped out at me how they limited him to 1 shot, and off those rebounds, they're coming down. They didn't always score in the first 5 or 6 seconds, but Miami, for a change, had trouble getting back and setting their defense up. So they were attacking quickly. That playing downhill just made, one feeds off the other. I thought it was the offense feeding off the defense. They just cut Miami up in the second half with their offense. But I'm going to be surprised if Brad Stevens doesn't talk an awful lot about how well they defended. And I'll tell you what, who's going to get and deserves a lot of credit. Forget the big guys, because we're used to them doing it night in and night out. Daniel Tice was enormous for Brad Stevens in the second half.
He was. He ended up in the scorebook with 15 points, 13 rebounds, 3 block shots. Took a critical charge on a tough call that fouled out Goran Dragic late in the game. 101 points for the starters. Who is tonight's more driven player of the game?
Jason Tatum or Daniel Tice? Who are you going with, Pete?
I'm going to go with Daniel Tice. Maybe we'll do a co tonight.
Let's do a co. I think that works.
There you go. So Tice and Tatum, our more driven player of the game, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear more driven. Final thought from here.